Here we go. Good morning. Welcome to the 2021 Indy Airstrip Attack. Of course, that's brought to you by the First Farmers Bank and Trust and the Indiana Corn Marketing Council. We're out here in beautiful Marion, Indiana this morning. Thank you for joining us. Lots of great racing. We just saw, looks like Tommy Diffie run a 163.4 in his 17 ZL1 Camaro. Right now, it looks like we got Chris Borders in a 99 Corvette, Tony Reed in his Corvette. It's going to be a pretty fantastic setup. I got some good information for everybody out there. We got Rob Gonzalez and Ned Dunphy. Vengeance racing yesterday, 226.3 in that orange Viper. Rob, he's been looking at the first 200 mile an hour pass, best of 174.8 yesterday. Rob, great morning pass, 1,600 horsepower in that 68 Camaro. We got a lot of fast Camaros. That one 177.5, so he definitely made some improvement. I know they've been working on that car for a while. Now we got Ned. Caught up with him this morning. Found every piece of his GoPro out on the track. How crazy is that? Never happens. That was on his 226.3 pass. Definitely sounds like he's in and out of the traction control. Mile an hour coming up. Vengeance Racing with a big red. Ned Dunphy piloting that beast. 222.99. Great start to the day, Ned. Great job. Now I got Brock Biddle on a 2010 Camaro. Les in his Lamborghini Huracan. Don't have numbers on these cars. They're new for today, so you're going to see them first with me. Beautiful red Lamborghini Les there. Mile an hour coming up. Looks like 156.2 for Les. Brock just now getting to the end. 700 horsepower for Brock, 145.07. Now I got Bill coming back in a Z06, 1,200 horse. Been a best of 192 too. Saw that car over in the pits this morning. Woo! It's a beast. Sounded like a good run. Mile an hour coming up on that one. What did he do? $182.33. Now I got one of our unleaded 88 cars. Raza in his M5. Yesterday, best 171.2. Looks like he shut her down a little early. He's still running under his own power, so that's good. Yeah, looks like he just got a little traction-related issue there. Gary Goatley in a Hellcat Red Eye. Lots of beautiful Hellcats here. 680 horse on this one up against Seth Moore. Gary flying through there in that red eye with a 157.01. Seth with a 158.0. Pretty close race. Got Mike Stout, Vengeance Racing, 2,000 horsepower. Been a best of 216.4. Eric right next to him in his 911 Turbo, 520 horse in that beast. Listen to that thing off the traction control. Looks like he took the wing off, looking for that big mile an hour, but now it's at a cost of traction, but still a 199.12 off the traction control. Eric just now getting through there on the traps in that 911. His mile an hour coming up at 151.5. John Moore, Zach Moore, Corvette and a Camaro. Yesterday, best 159.2. Zach with a 151.4. 650 horse in Zach's. It's a nice little drag race right there at the very, very end. Gotta like that. 158.0 to 151.9. Now we got Vengeance Racing back in the CTSV. See him right there. Got Ronald Wise in the Corvette Z51. 840 horse, 178.1 yesterday best. Couple good looking cars. Love all these great camera shots from our good friends at Revolution.com. It's one of our grid girls. Here comes Ronald Wise, Vengeance Racing. Mile an hour. 177.2. So cars are definitely ready to eat this morning. Vengeance Racing right there. Derek Downing in that CTSV. Looks like a good pass. Best yesterday at 169. Good clean run. Mile an hour, 167.3. Tim Garrett coming up in a convertible Corvette. Carl in a Z06. See some of the action right there in the starting line. What a great shot of that airstrip out here in beautiful Marion, Indiana. On with the arm drop. Looks like we got some more fast stuff coming up. I got Tim Hopkins coming up in a 16 Huracan, 180 miles an hour so far best, 1,300 horse in that one. Kenton Tyser in a Camaro SS, 1,200 horse, been a best of 168. So pretty crazy difference in horsepower between the two, and or in mile an hour, not in horsepower. It's a beautiful Synergy green Camaro you see there on your screen. Tim and his awesome Lambo. This will be a good race. Let's see how it plays out. Tim wasting no time at all on that launch. 182.7 for the Huracan. 171 for that Synergy Green Camaro. Christopher Simon, C8 Corvette. Tom Brett's 18 Mustang, 850 horse in that car. I haven't seen that car yet, or the C8, or that one anyway. C8s generally will run, I don't know, 138 to 142 at this point in stage, as they're pretty hard to mod with the EPA standards where they're at. Nice looking car. Mustang made some short work of that C8. Let's see where the mile an hour sets up. See if I was close. It's like Tom with a 167.7, 143.5, so it was only a mile an hour off on that brand new C8. Slava coming back in his M6. It's an unleaded 88 car, 1,000 horse, been a best of 158.3. Andrew in the Challenger, 797 horse. Don't have a lot of info on that just yet. Nice looking run there. Got Willie Balthus coming up in that GTR. Been a best of 148.1. 1,000 horse. Looks like we got another C8 maybe coming up. That is Ashley Carmody in actually a 720 McLaren. My bad. 850 horse in that, so this could be a good race. Don't have any data on the... That is not a McLaren. That is a C8. I am correct. Ba-boom! That's a McLaren right there. Here we go. So we got a McLaren against a GTR. Yeah, that's fine. I'm a little rusty this morning. There's quite a few McLarens here for this race. Beautiful cars, too. I don't know if you've seen one up close. You should if you can. It's really something else. 173.2 for Ashley in the McLaren, 184 for Willie. Wow, he really turned it up. Justin Stortz in the GT350. Larry in that C8 2020 Corvette. Let's see what he can do here. I got behind them. I got the father-daughter race. Jessica and Jacob James. Hefner built R8 and Huracan. Jessica's car has 1,300 horse. Dad's car's got 1,500, but just throwing it out there, Jessica decided to beat Dad yesterday. She's looking to do that again. These are fast cars. Of course, we're going to alert fire and tow, just kind of give them a heads up like, hey, these are two 200-plus mile-an-hour capable cars. You can see that unfold right here at the Indy Shift Sector event. Another fast Lambo coming up. That car was 233 yesterday. So here we go. Father-daughter. Jessica with the quick leap. She going to hold off Dad? It kind of looks that way. Mile an hour. Definitely drug him to the end. Mile an hour coming up. 195.9 for Jessica. Dad with a 214, nicely done. Now we got David Perlman, this Huracan, 2,000 horsepower. They're looking to try to break a record here today. 233.7. Of course, the standing world record is, or was set here by UGR at 259.99. So they got a ways to go. We've already alerted fire and safety, and it looks like he is definitely on the gas. He stayed in it clean. Mile an hour coming up. 236.47 miles an hour, so they definitely got some more speed out of that car. Great job. That's second or third highest mile an hour of the event thus far. Chad King in that Kawasaki, Robert Browning in the Challenger wide body. Don't have any good info on that Kawasaki, but it's moving. Challenger yesterday was the best of 152. Let's see if he improves that. 166 for the Kawasaki, 153.5 right there for the wide body. David DeFord in the Infiniti G35, 500 horse. Brian Priest Camaro was the best at 159. 800 horse. They're lining up right now. It's one of our grid girls. Definitely was on a good run there. And that Infiniti G35, didn't see that coming. 181.6. We're still waiting for Brian to get on the gas and get down to the end. Let's see what he did. 153.7. Ryan Hopkins in that 911. 700 horse. Mark Bayless in that Viper. That's the unleaded 88 Viper. Ethanol. Good run for both of these. So now it's David Perlman's looking for that Gallardo record, which I believe is 244 by none other than the Giddy Monster. Shout out to the Giddy. So he's creeping up on it. Right now we got Scott Miles and the ZL1 Michael Rieger in his Corvette. Behind that, we got a real fast race coming up. Patrick Kennedy in the English Racing GTR. Been a best of 226.9. That is a new personal best for the Kennedy Racing GTR. I know the Kennedys well. Really good father-son team. That car is a 100% street car. Looks like Scott and Michael went through the traps there. Let's see what they did. 146.8 to 163.6. So here you go. Looks like first we're going to have a Mustang. Don't have the data on this Mustang just yet. It looks fast. Has a Whipple type supercharger. I can hear that all the way over here, and I'm a half mile away. Let's see what he does mile an hour. He held in through the traps. Nice run. Just for the record, that was not Mr. Kennedy, but that was a real fast Mustang, so that was cool. Let's see what we got lining up next. I know all the fast stuff's starting to kind of get going, inching towards the starting line, so you're not going to want to miss that. Okay, here is English Racing Patrick Kennedy. Big mile an hour. Hold to shoot. What's it going to do mile an hour? 2,200 horse. There it is. 231.6 miles an hour. What do you think about that? That is a new best. Just an FYI, that was actually over the goal that they were trying to achieve in that GTR. Here comes another fast pass. Dave Briggs. Let's see what he did. Obviously, top speed yesterday, 207.02. Did he beat it? 209.79. There you go. Great job, Dave. That car makes some power, too. 1,300 horsepower. See this little S10 up there, I believe? Yep. He was here yesterday. Been a best of 122, too. Going back to that Kennedy English Racing built street GTR, that car has a full cage, working air conditioning, stock radio, obviously tuned by Lucas English on Motec, and is a legitimate street car. Very little change to go from the racetrack to the street. Pretty cool car. It's great to see them make their 230. They want to do 230 to 231, so congratulations. Oh, this is pretty cool. James Walden in a replica Cobra, Factory 5. 190 horse. Maybe he's got a little 5-liter in it. Nice looking Corvette next to him. That's David in a Grand Sport. 645 horse in that beast. Beautiful blue. That could be said about both, but nonetheless, beautiful cars out here on a beautiful day in Marion, Indiana. 155 for James in the Cobra with a 118. Now we got Ignite Racing Fuel's very own Steve Barry and Igor next to him at 1,100 horsepower, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, been a best of 197.0. That R8 right there was a best of 145.0 yesterday. Let's see what they'll do today. Great shots. Love the drone footage. Revolution.com handling all that. That Porsche's definitely on a run. Woo! Igor throwing it down. Did he do 200 is the question. 192.9, almost. 145.0 for the Ignite Racing Fuel Steve Barry. Julian Bassler coming up in his Huracan Performante. 155.3 best yesterday. Peter, he was here yesterday in his Mercedes, best of 151. It's crazy. All the years of calling these races, and I've called a lot of the world records. I'd say most of them for the past 6 years. It's amazing to me how many Lamborghinis, McLarens, and oddly enough, Corvettes show up to these events. It's pretty crazy. Don't see as many Mercedes. It's Peter with the 149. Julian looks like with a 155. Now we got Peter Herring, Z06. Ryan McCauley. He was here yesterday. 1,000 horse in this one, 171.8. Good looking car. I called it the Flying Banana yesterday. I think I'm going to do the same. The car really scoots. The Corvette has no idea what's up. He's got 600 horse though. Oh yeah! Like I was saying, Ryan's no slouch right there, mile an hour, 171.6 to a 120 for Perry in the Corvette. Glenn Griffiths GT500, Tony Williams in the CTSV, 1,000 horsepower in the V, 750 in the GT500. That's right, that GT500, unleaded ethanol 88. Ethanol blended fuels are great. Gave him the jump on that one. V makes all the power though. Let's see what happens here. Is he gonna get him? Almost. Mile an hour though will definitely reflect the power difference between the two. 139 to 154. I guess not. Must have got out of it. Now we got Todd Nall. Todd FP Force Performance, great runs yesterday. 1,400 horse in this. I've called this car all over the place. Yesterday his best was 2:04.7. Raza in the M5 unleaded 88 car. You just know Todd's looking for a 2:05 and above since he's 2:04 and change. That's Raza right there though in the unleaded 88 car. Let's see what Todd's gonna do. He's launched. Here we go. Go Todd, go. Definitely was in the traction control, even on the big end. Don't know if you heard that at home, but oh my goodness, was he on a boil. Raza with a 164, Todd with a 197.7. Matt Morrell coming up with the Challenger. Matt Stetz in the Audi S4, 420 horse, but 900 in the Challenger. Be interesting to see how this plays out. Thank you for joining us if you are on the live stream. Appreciate all the support. Race of the Mats, 168 for the Challenger, 141 for the Audi. Eric coming out in this 911 Turbo. He was the best yesterday in this car, 151.5. Tim Hopkins in the Huracan, 1,300 horse in that beast. He was the best yesterday at 182.7. Beautiful Huracan. $185.9 for Tim that time around. Porsche Turbo, 152. John in the Hellcat Red Eye, Andrew in the Challenger Red Eye, or Challenger Hellcat, my bad. All these eyes and stuff and things. That's what's coming up. Great shots there. That is where you can do the burnouts. That's basically the burnout box. Obviously cannot do a burnout right on the airstrip. That wouldn't be good for a plane to take off or land. Of course, I've never really seen a plane do a burnout, but maybe it could happen. Grid girl lining them up. Still an arm drop start as it has started. It's got 839 horse against 797. A lot of Mopars, fast ones here too. That Mustang GT 500, that's a mean looking machine right there. 169 for John, 153 for Andrew. Looks like we got a Golf coming up. Robert Paxton, that GT 500, he was here yesterday, best of 150.10, 750 horse. Elena in the Golf though, 300 horse, been a best of 130. Pretty crazy difference in power and just by design. See that tailwind, shift sector flags. Tailwind's a good thing. That's all the corn out there. You can see the tailwind on those flags. Pretty crazy, huh? The Indiana Corn Marketing Council flag just whipping in the wind. Shift sector flag. First Farmers Bank and Trust flag just whipping in the wind. It just looks really beautiful out there. So we got Ashley back in that 720S. She already went 173, 850 horse. Garrett Van Winkle, 1,000 horse. Like he was pedaling out of it.
Excuse me.
Sounds like he got out of it a little early. Had some traction-related stuff, sound like. 174.8 for Ashley in that McLaren. Good-looking car. Looks like we got it. Look at that line of cars. That car, let's see, the car that's coming up here, that's Mick Lay in that Camaro. 2,000 horse. He's looking for that 200, or first 200 out here today or this weekend. Got a best of 198.6. Nice-looking GT 350 next to him. He's definitely turned it up for today. Let's see if he gets that first 200 of the weekend for him. That looked good. Pulled the chute, aired the laundry. Mick Lay, 199.3's right there. Oh, Mick, you'll get there, I promise. Nicely done. Now it looks like we got Hunter Sumner coming up. Now this Z car, I talked to them today. They actually set the world record. That's the fastest 350Z in the land in the half mile anyway. The 179.0. That car right there, 069. He said he was going to turn it up and let it eat. Maybe not on the first pass, but he was. I think maybe he fibbed because it looks like he's in it to win it. Let's see what Kyle can pull off. Good looking car, real fast. Like I said, that is the fastest half mile 350Z in the world. And there it is. He reset it again, his own record, 181.6, 950 horse. Great job, Kyle. Caden Moen, Camaro, Jared Whitaker in the F-150, 800 horse in that F-150. Look at that pre-grid. You see that lineup just waiting to go? Gonna knock off this GTR race first, along with this Camaro. That's Caden in the Camaro. Flying through there. First Farmers Bank and Trust flags. That's right there. That's the exit road. You can see that with our drone footage. Kind of cool. Coming down. Fans are just starting to show up. But racing's already started. See the big English Racing semi in the back. Of course, we got Indy Garage, Mark Bayless in the unleaded 88. The ethanol blended fuel. Slava in the M6, running the same ethanol blended fuel. See the drone kind of, I was going to wave at it as he goes by. Hi, drone. Hi, drone. I was waving. Nice looking bike there. That looks like one of the Hayabusas. 132.0 to 117 for Slava. Marty coming up in that Audi RS6, it looks like. I see that. And Briar Madden in a Challenger Hellcat, 1,000 horse in that. Oh, that Audi's wicked quick off the line. RS6, 600 horse. First time I've called that particular one. Nicely done there. 149.9 for the RS6, 171 for the Hellcat. Definitely made up the power band on the end. Ransoom in the Hayabusa, 400 horse, yesterday best 177. Ryan Hopkins in 911, 700 horse, best 154. Of course, behind that, I got Kyle Loftus in the 1320 Audi R8. I got the King, Mickey Noriasada, going up next to him. English Racing built GTR, been a best yesterday at 202.7, 1,400 horse. I was talking to Mickey and Kyle last night as well. Not sure what Kyle's really going to do. He's kind of always a good surprise. Already been 202.4. Both of them right there, 202.7. Mickey, he's pretty happy with 205. You see that Indiana Corn Marketing Council flag just bending over. So this is a really close race, I feel. Of course, 1320 fans will all recognize Kyle and that R8. It's been everywhere. Mickey with a nice launch. Kyle not far behind. Mickey looking strong. Pulled the chute. What did they do? Mile an hour. Oh my gosh, Mickey. 211.67 miles an hour for the king, Mickey Noriasada. English Racing built GTR. Kyle right there with a 201.3. That was one heck of a launch, Mickey. Nicely done. I guess he exceeded his goal there. Corollas in his RS7, Billy Barnes in the Trackhawk, 1,035 horsepower in that Trackhawk. Watch this thing launch. Both these cars should have a heck of a launch. Look at that thing. That is not your average SUV. Here we go. Wow, the Audi out-launched it. That's a surprise. Wow. $155.6 for the Audi, $131.6 for Billy. Up next, we got Ryan in that 911 Turbo. See it right there. Going to do a solo pass. This car's bad fast, 1,700 horse, spin at best at 224.5. What's he going to do now? Oh, it's definitely making all the power this morning. Mile an hour should be good. Coming up. He went all the way. His foot was stuck to the back of the headlight on that one. There it is, 227.5. That is a new best this weekend for Ryan in that 911. With 1,700 horse. Woo! How'd you like that? Peter coming up in that E63 AMG. Tony Janko, he was here yesterday in that GT350R, 184 horse. Not sure if that's a Fat House built car or not. 1,300 horse in the GT350R. Wow, nicely done there. 184.5 for Tony. Peter with a 151. There's that beautiful Lamborghini Huracan Les, 610 horse coming up. John Martin, a Turbo S 550 horse. A pretty close match there. Don't have any other data on John's Porsche there, but that Lambo's looking the part, huh? Porsche with a nice launch, but he's going to, it's a side-by-side drag race, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I mean, literally, they were side-by-side most of the way down. Look at that pre-grid. Lots of great cars. I was looking to see what maybe was coming up next. So get some good data for you there. 155.4 for John, less in the Huracan with a 156.6. Tim Hopkins Huracan, you saw that on your screen, 185.9 best. Raza, and then led at 88. M5, 171.2. Lamborghini looking a little stealthy down the strip there. $186.4 in the Huracan. That is a new best. 164.11 right there for Raza in the unleaded 88 M5. John in the Hellcat Red Eye, 839 horse. Eric in this 911, 520 horse right there on the launch pad. Look at the layout there on your screen. Pretty cool how it's all set up. go through the traps here. It looks like I got a new 1,000 horsepower GTR, or sorry, 1,000 horsepower 370Z Nismo. There you go. That's a new one. Haven't seen that one before. 152 for Eric and a 168.8 for John. Nathan Ginter in this 370Z Nismo. All the info I got is 1,000 horse, which is plenty. You see it right there. So maybe we're going to have 2 records fall today. Let's find out. Definitely in the power. Sounds good. Looks clean. Mile an hour, 176.19. So yeah, right there. Nicely done. Andrew in the Challenger coming up. 797 horse, 153.8, which is pretty much what I see a lot of those Mopars do in that power range. Sean in the box body GT Mustang, 1,000 horse yesterday, 164.7 best. He's definitely getting better traction today. That's good to see. It was a good clean. That might be the fastest good pass I've seen him make. Mile an hour. 178.3 definitely translated into that. He'll be happy with that huge 14 mile an hour increase. Good for him. Nice to see an old Fox body out there doing work. Julian Bassler in the Supra. Here we go. Andrew in the Challenger Hellcat, Julian's 1,000 horsepower Supra, 797 in this Challenger. Sounds like something might be up on the Super Dupra. 2JZ, no, I won't say it. Ashley's back in the McLaren 720S, flying out there. Ashley 174.8, Tony in the CTSV 1,000 horse, with a best of 139.5. Probably going to see a little faster mile an hour, I'm guessing. There you see it right there, big V. Ashley with a 175.4. That makes it new personal best. Car keeps going faster. Tony with a 164.11. Gary in the Hellcat Red Eye. Patrick in the S2000. That's what's coming up next. See the shift sector flag kind of just going the right direction here for a tailwind. I thought there was going to be a little scuffle right there in the starting line, but no. Sideways there, a little step out. Patrick Parker's S2000 breaking up a little on the top end, 800 horse in that beast. 154 to a 139, which was nice for both of them. Brandon and the GTR, 600 horse, been a best of 155.7. Caden in that Camaro, best of 149.5. Looking here right now at the First Farmers Bank and Trust. They have kind of a little setup out here, and it's like a piggy bank that blows up. Pretty cool, but it's not blown up. It's all flat. So depressing. Where are they at? I love my First Farmers Bank and Trust peeps. Always a good time. Almost looked like a video game, didn't it, if you were watching at home? That top view from the drone footage. Brandon and Caden right here. Nice looking Camaro coming up. That's Zach Moore. Ryan and next to him there in the Porsche. 152.7 to 148. Last run there for those two. Ryan's car, been a best of 154.9, 700 horse up against 650 in Zach's Camaro. Been a best of 151.9. That's Chrissy, our grid girl, right there. Getting them kind of lined up. Porsche's having a much faster mile-an-hour run from what I can tell. Let's see what he does. 157.1. I thought that looked faster than his fastest. 145.4. Or 5.4, I should say. Barrett in the Cork Sport Mazda Speed 3. 655 horse, best yesterday, 154. Car kept getting faster. Just kind of getting it figured out here on this surface. It's a lot of power to put down on an airstrip and a car that you don't have a lot of time with, so. Looks good for Barrett, Cork Sport. So I think it's the only Mazda Speed 3 we have here. Probably one of the fastest, if not. Look at that, he increased his mile an hour again at a 158.5. Nicely done. Dale Hart, 911 Turbo, 500 horse, coming up against Nate in the Z06, 810 horse. Both these cars weren't here yesterday, so kind of newbies, if you will. Again, we get a great tailwind here, so tailwind usually equates to bigger mile an hour on the big end. A little push from the wind never hurt anybody. Mile an hour coming up on those. Dale with a 143. Nate with a 129.05. Seth Moore, Jason Burrow, and Hellcat. Hellcat's been the best 145.1 with 650 horse. 161.8 for Seth in that Camaro SS with 700 horse. Great shots there from our Revolution.com team. And of course, my awesome director, and I would call close friend, JeffreyJHart.com. Great run for both of those guys. Seth in the Camaro with a 155.55. Jason with a 146.6. Now I got John Moore coming up in his Corvette Z06, 159.2 with 510 horse. Christopher, 524. No data on that car just yet, so we're going to get some now. Just a beautiful day out here. Loving the Indiana Corn Marketing Council support. All that ethanol blended unleaded 88. Oh, look at that Viper. I haven't called that one yet. I like that. Can't wait to see what's going to pop up there. Look at that burnout. Ooh, got fangs. Grr. 158.9 for John. Christopher in that Camaro was a 143.5. Now I got Eric in the 911. Been a best of 162.5. Dustin, 850 horse of this McLaren. Don't have any data on that just yet, but it's coming. It's Eric in the Porsche, and then of course we got that Viper right next to him. Don't have the data on the Viper, but it sure looks cool. Good run for both of them. Not a lot of Vipers at this event. Surprise, 149.7 and 161 for the 911. Got Scott McIntosh coming up in that RS3 eventually here. Briar Madden in the Challenger Hellcat, 1,000 horse coming up at some point here too. I got Carl Sigmund in the Z06 up against Michael Ambler in the Challenger Hellcat. 685 horse in that one, 550 in the Z06. All right, let's see what they're going to do here. Good-looking cars. We got Dallas Performance with an Ignite Racing Fuel powered beast coming up soon. Looking for that Gallardo world record, so that's coming up soon. I'll love to talk about that when I see it coming up soon. Carl Simon with a 149.8, Michael Ambler with a 151. Now I got Devin in a 2020 Super. First one at this event, 470 horse. Daniel Bartram in that Huracan. See it right there, beautiful car. Got a best of 156.1. Supra slash BMW. Sorry, inside joke. You know I love me a good Supra. And Huracan for that matter. Supra with a 140.1, Daniel with a 154.6. Hannah yesterday in that Camaro been a best of 150.9, 650 horse. Tyler McGinnity in that unleaded ethanol blended 88 BMW 135, 600 horse, best 155.0. Love the wrap on that car, yellow headlights and all. Getting a little breezy out here. Here we go. This is David Perlman, the car we were just talking about. This is that Dallas Performance Huracan. 236. I'm sorry, not Huracan, Gallardo. It's listed in here as one. My bad. So this Gallardo, they're looking for the world record, which is 244, I believe. Ignite Racing Fuel powered 2,000 horse. Here we go. Another world record attempt. That looks fast. He definitely sounded like he was on traction control. Mile an hour coming up. 225.4. I know he was in and out of the power for a bit, so traction related stuff. Great job. Mark coming up this Mustang, 950 horse, been a best of 165.2. Peter in that Mercedes, pretty fast as well, been at 151.3. Mustang's on a pretty good run. Second run, 950 horse in that Mustang. Peter already threw the traps with a 151. Mark, no slouch there. Definitely got it done. See that big beast of a Camaro coming up in your screen there. That's Jessica James in the Huracan. 171.2 for Mark in that Mustang just went through. I got Ben Strader in his Firebird. He was fast yesterday too. 441 horse, 155. He's coming up. Looks like I got James Franklin, the Z06 though, right up next to him. Daniel Williams, but just behind them, the father-daughter team, Jessica and Jacob James. Hefner built Lamborghini and R8. A lot of power in those cars. I know they've been bad fast. 1,300 horse in Jessica's Huracan. All that Hefner horsepower making its way down the track soon. Then Jacob James, or Dad, in a 1,500 horse Hefner built R8. Been a best of 214.08. Jessica's been 198.4 here. Been faster, I believe, Might have been our Kansas event, but look at those two cars. How cool would it be, though, to line up next to your dad and go for a run, and more importantly, beat Dad? That'd be cooler, because Jessica did that actually from A to B, but she did mile an hour. Dad got her on that one. But either way, really nice father and daughter team. Can't say enough nice things about them. They've kind of recently joined us out here at the Shift Sector Airstrip Attacks, and it's great to see them out here at the Indy Airstrip. I'd like to say that Jessica's got that launch mode engaged. Here comes Dad, though. Dad was like, nope, I'm going to do what I can to catch up. 186 for Jessica, 203.4 for Jacob James. Nicely done. This Camaro is pretty fast. Called it yesterday. Long-nosed Camaro. That's Buddy Schultz. Went 202.5 yesterday, 2,000 horsepower. Looks kind of pro-moddy. Something you'd see on maybe Street Outlaws. Maybe. Definitely a little different launch sequence out here. It sounded good. Buddy's in it. Oh, he got out of it. He was shifting that thing, too. That's news to me. It sounded to me like he was manually shifting that beast. Wow. Willie coming up in the GTR, 1,000 horse, been a best of 184. Definitely turned it up for this event today because it was a little slower yesterday at 148. Still fast in my book, but now when you gain literally 35 miles an hour, that gets my attention. So that's that camo wrapped. Not like you could hide for anybody in that camo, but camo wrapped GTR right there. Kent Seckler in that CBR 1000RR, been a best of 145 and change, 189 horse. Big power difference between these two. Like, 800 and some. Willie's definitely in it. Bike is definitely following up on the backside there. 185 for Willie. He just got faster again. What is he doing? I love it. Another mile an hour faster. Kent with a 137.6. Now I got Justin, GT350. You see it right there. Right up next to that beautiful C8. Like I said before, the C8s, I've called many of them. The Indiana Corn Marketing Council flag just whipping in the wind. Called plenty of these C8s. They seem to be around 138 to 143.4-ish. This one ends up being 143.5. Justin's in the GT350 has been 140.0, so could be pretty good drag race. Or not. Drag him down to the end. There's Big Red right there. 141.0 to 143.0 last race. Big Red now. Again, I talked to RJ Gottlieb this morning. They were working on that car this morning. Did some supercharger changes. More power, basically. And did some gear changes. They're hoping, obviously, for more mile an hour, but they're struggling with traction as it is. So this will be an interesting run when they come up. Right now, I got Jennifer Harper in her Camaro, 161.4. Mason in the Golf R, 1,100 horsepower in this Golf. And he's shifting it. Not sure what's up with the Golf, but Jennifer wasn't going to wait for him. 160, let's see what they did. There's Big Red right there, 161.0 to 141.8. So Big Red, of course, that is RJ Gottlieb, very famous 69 Camaro. That wing is not for looks, obviously. That is for downforce, and that was specifically for the half mile. They've been, obviously, in the Salt Flats, Bonneville Salt Flats. Their class record's 258.6. Fastest they've ever been, 266.2. Definitely fighting traction. RJ still keeping his foot all the way buried to the back of the headlight. Pulls the chute, mile an hour coming up. 212.77 miles an hour. Obviously, he's been 251.9 at the Texas Mile. Of course, first time I saw that car, I was just a kid back in 1988. They won the overall win on the Silver State Classic, second Silver State Classic ever. Pretty cool. We got Larry Conover coming up in the Corvette, or Tony Reed in his 03 Corvette. Tony's been a best of 169.3, 680 horse. Larry, 142.3. So the C8s are a little faster here at this track in Indiana. It's kind of nice to see. For reference, this one goes out directly to Jeffrey J. Hart. For reference, most of the C8s are 135, 138. That was California, so maybe you have to get an Indiana-built C8. Just throwing it out there. Tony not waiting around, though. 167.9 for him, 142.8. So, yeah, definitely the C8s are faster in Indiana. Definitely want to make sure you get one built somewhere around here. Tim Hopkins in the Huracan, 1,300 horse. Going up against John in that Hellcat. Been a best of 169.3 to 186.4 in Tim's Huracan. Wow, Tim in the Huracan with a 184.2, 169.1 for John in the Hellcat. Here comes that beautiful, looks like a Roush Mustang. Definitely supercharged, going up against some kind of Mopar. That's Andrew. I don't have any information quite yet on this Mustang, but it sure does look good. Probably a late addition to our event. Andrew with a good launch. Engage. So Andrew right there with a 151.1. Here comes this Mustang. Looks like a Roush. He's definitely on the boil, doing well. What a beautiful day out here. Hi there. Welcome to the 2021 Indy Airstrip Attack. I'm Jimmy Shaberg. I am your MC. We want to thank everybody for being here. Of course, our syndication partners, can't do it without them, right? So big shout out to my good friends over at 1320 Video. Thank you so much. Of course, I got my friends at Global Time Attack. Love having them on board. Couldn't do any of this without First Farmers Bank and Trust and the City of Marion, obviously, Indiana Corn Marketing Council. Just really appreciate all their support. Definitely can't thank Indiana Corn Marketing Council for all their support. Without them, we couldn't be doing this. So once again, big shout out to them, City of Marion. Look at that pre-grid line. Look at those cars that line up for you to enjoy at home, or if you're here, obviously. Such a gorgeous day out here in the City of Marion. Out in the middle of a cornfield is what it feels like. That's what it looks like, too. Looks like we got Ashley Carmody in that McLaren 720S, Raza in that unleaded 88 blended M5, 1100 horse in that beast. Right there, you can see it. That's an ethanol blend. They just call it unleaded 88, just for the record. There was a little confusion yesterday. I want to make sure and clear that up. Their website is unl88.com. Good race there. Ashley, I believe she went faster. They went faster, my bad. 173.3 to 168.3. Let's see what I have coming up next. It's like Slava in the unleaded ethanol blended M6. Tony Williams in the CTSV, 1,000 horse, already been at best at 164.1. Tony with a 161.4, Slava with that blended unleaded 88, fuel 164.6. All right, Aaron O'Neill in that Civic, 161.5, English Racing. Garrett right next to him there, that was a 172.9. Of course, Aaron had to work all day and night long. He changed the transmission out. He had a transmission issue yesterday, so that was just a little baby pass. That's what he told me anyway this morning. Right now, I got Mark Bayless, that Hellcat. Indy Garage. Hannah Schultz in the Camaro next to him. Good run for both of them. Mile an hour for Mark and Hannah. Trevor Hutter in that Corvette Stingray yesterday, best 168.2 Brock Biddle Camaro yesterday. This morning, I should say. I think it was the first time I saw that car. 700 horse there, around 145.0. Talking a little bit about Aaron O'Neill, English Racing. Car makes big power, 1,200 and some odd horse, that little teal Civic. Been struggling with transmission issues. Kind of hard to put all 6 cylinders of Fury behind a transmission that was made to only hold 150 or so horsepower. So it's a lot to ask, obviously. Does a great job. Big shout out to my main man, Jaden, out there for the assist on the trans. Or actually, he probably did all the work, and Aaron was the assist. But either way, Julian Bassler in this Huracan. Peter in the E63S AMG. Julian brought a whole host of exotic, cool cars out here to the event. Beautiful Indiana corn out there. Love that shot. Peter with a 153.2. Julian with a 155.7. There's the unleaded 88 GT500. Looks like he's going up against the bike, that Honda. Tell you, unleaded 88, it's clean burning, high octane, 15% ethanol blended fuel that is engine smart, earth kind. Find unleaded 88 near you at unl88.com. Nice view right there of the bike. That's Kent. He's got his mirrors tucked in, little aero. Indiana Corn Marketing Council. Lots of good ethanol blended fuel representation out here, thanks to them. Blend there with a 153.3. Kent on the bike, 148.0. Now I got Matt Morrell, Challenger, up against Clay Preston, Corvette. 470 the Vet, 904 in this Challenger. He definitely is using all of that mighty Challenger's 904 horse. 167 to 150 for Mr. Clay, the Corvette. Stephen Barry, that's Ignite Racing fuel. Been a best of 145.0. Tim in the GTR, 480 horse. Don't have any info data yet, but it's coming. So it looks like we got data now. Tom Killoffer with that 147.1 in the GTR. Stephen Barry, Ignite Racing Fuel Powered Beast, 145.5. Dennis Morgan coming from Z06. 1,081 horsepower. He's been a best of 168. Sounds like he's just on a Sunday drive. I don't think he was in the power. Mile an hour will probably reflect that. 134.9, that's what I kind of figured. So now I got, let's see what I got. I'm not really sure. It looks like I got a nice Mustang and another nice Mustang, I think. Gonna find out soon enough. That's Ben Stoner and Tom Brett's GT350R and an 18 Mustang. Here we go. Look like a good run there. Little bit more tailwind too. You can see that Indiana Corn Marketing Council. Look at that, 189.1 and 166.9. Pretty good run right there. Gustav in his Challenger, 707 horse. James Bolus in his Challenger Hellcat. No mile an hour data yet. Here it comes though. Again, big shout out to our good syndication partner friends, 1320video.com. Also working pretty close with GTA Global Time Attack. Can't wait to join them here soon. Going to race one of my own cars in the Global Time Attack, which means I'll probably bring friends. So I know how that works. Gustav looks like mile an hour. I'm not sure. Wait for it. 158.2. James with a 152. Clark Rosenthal, 2,500 horsepower. Clark, he's been here before. he comes. He's easing in the power. Clark pulling the chute, letting the laundry out. Mile an hour for Clark, 200.98. He's going to be happy with that. Clark's first pass off the trailer in a 2,500 horsepower Camaro. He's going to like that. David, and here comes another fast run in this Porsche. Been a best of 209. What's he going to do? Mile an hour coming up for Dave in that Porsche 1,300 horse. I'll get that here when they let me know in my ear. But it was fast. I can tell you that. Looked like a little over 200. 210.57 miles an hour. So that is a new best for Dave in that Porsche Turbo S. 1,300 horse. You gotta like that. Here comes Ashley in that 720S. Been a best of 175. Slava in the unleaded blended fueled M6. 140.8 best. Oh, my bad. 164.6 best. Getting ahead of myself. 169.2 for Slava. Hunter Sumner coming up in the Mustang. Mike Geiserman in the Corvette. Been a best of 119 in the Corvette. 1,000 horse, so I bet you it could go faster. Sure sounds like it's going faster. That looked like a good run to me. That was 176 for Ashley in that McLaren, which is a new best. Hunter right there, 141 in the Mustang. 179.2 for that Corvette that just blasted through. Now it looks like I got that Audi back. Tyler McGinnity. That RS6 Audi's in full beast mode. Kind of hard to catch that car on a launch for sure. 135 for Tyler, 149 for that Audi. Looks like we got Tommy Diffie in the ZL1. 952 horses in this beast. Been close to 163.4. Flags are just showing you how much tailwind we have. It's quite a little bit. Tommy ripping through the traps there pretty fast. 159.2. Derek Downing, CTSV, but a best of 169, 550 horse. That's from the Vengeance Racing Camp. Talked to all of them this morning, my Vengeance Racing fam out there. They always come here to win. They do a great job. A lot of fast stuff. I'd call them the LS specialists, certainly. 168.5 right there for Derek, no surprise. The cars start races, finish races, and win races. You can't ask for much more than that. Great job, Vengeance Racing, as always. Great to have them out here. They joined us last year, maybe a year before, I don't remember now, but it's just been a great time since they've been here, so. Chris Borders, 99 Corvette, 525 horse, bit of best of 148. Matt, in that S4, bit of best of 141, 420 horse. 141.0 for Matt. Chris, here we go, talking about Vengeance Racing right here. This is Ned Dunphy. Look at that Indiana Corn Marketing Council flag bend over. They even have to remove the shift sector one because it's falling over from the tailwind. Are we going to have an actual, are we potentially going to have a world record run right here? I know he's going to make an attempt, no doubt. Ned Dunphy, Vengeance Racing. Been a best of 226.3, 2,600 horsepower. You got the unleaded 88 car right next to them. Let's see what happens. Just got to take the flags down because they're bending over. I'm talking about the flags for the record. The flags are bending over, touching the airstrip, so they're taking them down. It didn't look like Ned was in all the power on that one. Maybe he's just trying to get some traction-related stuff kind of felt out, because I know he was on the traction control last time. Vengeance Racing once again, obviously here to make an impact, as they always do. 163.3 for the blended unleaded 88 ethanol fuel. Ned with a 160.3. Here's Mark Bayless in the Indy garage. Another blended ethanol unleaded 88 car. Next to him, looks like it's going to be Peter. No? Looks like Peter to me in the Mercedes. Fighting the flags there in the starting line. There's that much tailwind out here. It feels breezy, but it doesn't feel too bad. But I think it's probably a little better in my point because I'm kind of hidden by a tent. So that does look like Peter in the AMG, and then that's my good friend Indy Garage Mark in the unleaded blended ethanol 88 Hellcat.
All right, I'm gonna hold. I'm holding now, and I need that gear in the middle. I need those sandbags.
Gotten so much breeze out here, so much tailwind, which is always a good thing when you're trying to race, right? So the big tailwind, they're dealing with some flag stuff. So I'll go over a few things here. So far, highest mile an hour of the weekend is Kevin Rudine and English Racing built GTR at 239 and change. That is your high mile an hour of the weekend so far. We got a couple people trying to nip away at that, which I feel like could happen. You just never know with a tailwind, right? So it's definitely getting a little breezier out here for the advantage speed. So you're going to want to hang on because it could get interesting. That's happened before. I remember once I was out at I was actually at the Pikes Peak airstrip attack in Denver, Colorado, and there was a gigantic storm coming, and the Drag 965 UGR built Lambo was going to make a world record attempt. And the storm was literally, you could see it off in the horizon. And everybody was trying to get up to the starting line with this giant, huge, gusting tailwind. It was nuts. It was funny because it really, right when they got up there, the tailwind almost went away. They still made a world record attempt and got it, but all they were doing is protecting their record. But it was one heck of an event. I remember ETS in Lucas piloting the ETS GTR, ran a 255 mile an hour pass in Denver. I'm telling you, it just kept going back and forth. It was a lot of fun. So you never know what's going to happen, but the tailwind always seems to kind of help, right? So we're seeing a lot of that right now on your screen. You can see all the tents, and you can kind of see the breeze kind of whipping through the tents, right? It looks like right there, that's, I think, Big Red. That's their hauler right there, the truck and trailer. So that right there kind of rounds out the pit area. Lots going on all over here at the 2021 Indy Airstrip Attack. This drone footage is amazing. I can't get enough of it. Once again, my name's Jimmy Shaberg. I am the announcer here, have been for some time, and appreciate everybody joining us at 1320.com. Of course, course, our good friends at Global Time Attack GTA. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, that's cool too. So just excited that you're here out in beautiful Marion, Indiana. Can't thank the city of Marion, Indiana enough. First Farmers Bank and Trust, of course, coming through clutch for us. Indiana Corn Marketing Council, lots of support there. Without any of them, we couldn't do any of this. We couldn't bring this live stream to you. And of course, they went off my screen here, but Unleaded 88, that is what they call it. You can find that at unl88.com. That is what's actually powering up this live stream. So when you hear me mention it kind of a few times, it's because I want to get my point across. It's pretty great fuel and it's a good setup. You can find them at UNL88. Right there's the highest mile-an-hour car of the event. That is Kevin Rudine sitting in the English Racing built GTR. I believe that is potentially, I can hardly tell from my screen, that actually might be Lucas English, the tuner and owner of English Racing. I couldn't tell from my vantage point. So if I got that wrong, you can tear me up on the internet. I only have a little tiny screen I can see this stuff in, so I'm doing what I can with what I got, baby. But nonetheless, that was your, and so far is your high mile an hour 239 and change car. That car's been faster, and just so we have, since I have a few moments here, I was over chatting with the English Racing team this morning, and they have turned that car up. Worked a little bit different launch sequence, I believe. That's what I was told. And they have turned that car up, and it's already been 244. That was at the Pikes Peak Attack event. And so who knows what's going to happen there. So we got a lot of fast stuff coming up, as you can imagine. That's not the only fast car here, but it is the fastest car here at this moment. So it definitely deserves a little chat. There's another Trackhawk in the background, cooling it off, got the hood open. I see that 69 Nova back there. Lots of good cars. I can't wait to get to them. We're just making sure our flags don't fall down. Another GT 500 maybe. Yep, definitely. Older one. There's that Viper. There's the English Racing GTR. Kevin Rudine piloted. Could you imagine piloting a car on an airstrip at 239 miles an hour and change? Could you even imagine that? Like when you're at home, think about that for a minute. You're going down the freeway, it's completely clear, and you're going to go, you know what, I'm just going to open this thing up. First off, do you even have a car that's capable of going that fast, right? So that's another thing. It's pretty crazy when you think about it, because the amount of horsepower it takes to go 239 miles an hour, I can tell you how much it takes because I know how much is in that car. And another thing of note, that car was just put together recently, or re-put back together on a refresh for this event less than 2 weeks ago. I'm going to give a little shout out to my main man, Sean Hart there. Just wanted to do that. Part of the great English Racing team. Sounds like we're going to go hot here in a minute. They're going to get those flags dealt with, but I love all the drone footage. Whoever's operating the drone from revolution.com is just doing a fantastic job. I can't believe the shots. Look at this right here. We're out, looks like we're at the Jacob James pit area. That is one of their newer additions to their collection of cool cars, that Audi R8. I love the wrap on that. It's like a chrome. It's pretty darn neat. Of course, in the background, you can see that really cool green semi. But you got all these cars. Just wait and see. They're right here. That is our finish line, and you can see the flags are just doing all kinds of crazy stuff out there. That's Johnny Blaze. Oh, that's a start line. My bad. I can't tell from, I don't have a vantage point of the finish line. Looks like they've loaded up some sandbags. Probably going to take those to the finish line. You can see the First Farmers Bank and Trust. They got it all sandbagged up so it doesn't fall over. Great drone footage once again from revolution.com. Great direction from my good friend JeffreyJHart.com. Also where you can catch this live stream if you have not already. So we're just going to do, I guess what you could say right now, we're sandbagging. There it is. That's right. And this one's just for Mr. Jeff Bush. I'll be here all weekend. Looks like we got Vengeance Racing. Got some camera out in the pits. I love this. This is awesome. So we got Vengeance Racing. You see some of their lineup there. That's that Synergy Green Camaro. It's been pretty fast over there. I would care to say that Vengeance Racing, there's nothing slow in their pits. And now we're going to race the Gator. I wonder who would win that race. Looks like they're getting it all sandbagged and figured out. There's your view right there from above. Those at home watching on 1320 video, thank you. Appreciate that. With that, we're going to go back to green. Looks like Carolus in an Audi RS7, been at best at 155.6, 600 horse in that beast. Brett Campbell in the 2010 Corvette, been at best of 178.6 with 500 horse. That doesn't seem quite right. Somebody's sandbagging. Sandbagging their power numbers, because I'm thinking 500 horse is probably not going to get you to that mile an hour. Maybe I'm wrong. Another Audi RS7 with a big launch. Nicely done there. 155.4 for the Audi. 149.2. There's Vengeance Racing. That's Ned right there in that Viper. Hey, look at that. That car, he's looking for a 230 out of that car, is what he's looking for. I don't know if he's going to get there. We got Julian Bassler in the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. Tom Enos, I believe, in the Audi R8. 200.8 miles an hour, 1,400 horse in that beast already. When you go over 200 or 200.00, you do get a 200 mile an hour t-shirt. That's how you earn that. Let's see what he did this time. Tom with a 199.7, 154.4 for Julian. That looks like that's going to be Kyle Loftus, 1320video.com. Coming back out here, 1,320 horse in the Audi R8. Been a best of 202.4 here this weekend. Kent in the CBR 1000RR next to him. Of course, 1320 video. I remember when... Kyle showed up in a big white Suburban with a little 1320 video decal on the back and one camera. That's how he started. Kyle has worked hard. Let's see what this mile an hour looks like this time. .142 for Kent, 185.1 for Kyle. He's probably backing out of it because obviously we do have safety concerns. James Richardson, the Camaro. Eugene McAllister in that BMW 335i. James, 800, or Eugene, 800 horse in that BMW, 163.9 best. James with a 163, also 800 horse. You got 800 against 800 right here. James in that Camaro looked like a good run. Wait for that mile an hour. There it is, 163.46, 160.8 right there for Eugene in that BMW. Going back to Kyle Loftus in 1320. Great start. He would show up at the events and just film stuff and do interviews, and just a great job there. We got Vengeance Racing in the house. Mike Stout looking for that. He's already the fastest C7 on the planet in the half mile, and I believe the quarter mile right now. I can hear him bouncing off the traction control. Vengeance Racing put a little more spice in it. What's it going to do mile an hour? Nice run there. Always great to see Mike out. He campaigns that car everywhere. 218.4 for Mike. Right there, you got the little teal Civic. We talked about English Racing. Looks like they're gearing up for all kinds of stuff over in those pits. Aaron looking for his first 200 mile an hour run. So Mike, Vengeance Racing with a 218.4. That is a new best for him this weekend. Slava in the blended ethanol unleaded 88 car, 144.8. Got a couple Z06s here. Perry and John tearing it up in the wind. Look like some activity going on in the Vengeance Racing camp and also the English Racing camp. Look at that right there. It's a color-matched fan. That's how you do it. Look at that big turbo. All right. Sorry about that. That's a 69 Nova. Nice-looking car. That's Gia's favorite car. That's Ignite Racing fuel. Russell Hess in that beast. Les and Hercon. Russell making a good pass right there. And that 69 Nova probably wasn't created initially to go down a half mile at wide open 146 plus miles an hour, but there you go. 140 got as fast as the Lambo. Big win there. It's Tony Williams in that CTSV. There's Big Red right there. I know they're making some more adjustments. They've got traction stuff kind of going on. Almost look like I couldn't tell from that. Maybe you could at home, but I couldn't tell. Did they actually remove the wing? Is that what I saw there? I couldn't imagine that, but maybe. Billy Barnes in the Trackhawk, Seth Moore in the Camaro. Trackhawk with a big launch. It's getting windy. Some of the screens are blowing down in the VIP area. It's pretty crazy. Here we go. Like we were talking about, here you go. This is your highest mile-an-hour car. We've alerted fire and tow. This is going to be a fast pass, or that's the hope. English Racing in the house. Lucas English right there running up last-minute directions for the pilot. That's Kevin Rudine. Making sure it's good. Here we go. He's in it. What's that mile an hour going to look like? Lucas English put all the spice in it. Let's find out. 243.37 miles an hour. What do you think about that? English Racing in the house. Nicely done. Kevin Rudine piloting that beast. 2 weeks ago, there wasn't a motor in that car. Current GTR world record is owned by ETS, piloted by Lucas English at 255. Just wanted to shout that out. 2 weeks ago, there was not a motor in that car. Big shout out to my good friend Tony, T1. I'll tell you a little backstory about that if you want to know at home. So 2 weeks ago, that motor was en route. We literally had, or English Racing literally had that motor driven from T1 all the way to Camas, Washington. Less than 2 weeks ago. It was a refresh. In the car, Lucas English tuned it. Here we are. There you go. Pretty cool story. Unleaded 88 right there. That's that blended ethanol content fuel. Tyler McGinnity. Right next to him, he's got Tim Hopkins in that beautiful Hercon. Hercon, 1,300 horse, been a best of 186. Way to go there. 194.3. Tim, I think he's turning that thing up. That's faster. Scott Miles there, Carl Sigmund, that Z06. Got Bill coming up behind in that Z06, 1200 horse, been a best of 192 and change. You'll see it kind of coming up here. I see a lot of fast stuff kind of relining back up, so that's how that'll go down. But lots of fast cars out here. Bill's on the boil for sure, no pun intended with the hot water tank thing. That's what it says on the side of his vehicle. 1200 horse in that one. Looks like he's doing pretty good. Made use of all 1200 of them. 195.99. He's looking for a 200. He's going to get there. That's pretty good. Chad Smith, ZX14. Chad Redder in that GTO. That's what's next. Nice launch for both of them. So I don't know. I know a lot of you follow the Gringo Tegra. That's the Acura Integra nickname for Miles Kerr English Racing. I know it's starting to sound like an English Racing commercial, and I'm not meaning to. They're just got a lot of cars, and they're going fast. So Reese had his own personal best and world record at 2:15 yesterday. What you may or may not know is that the transmission was put together. Everything was working fine, but he wanted to try to make an improvement. So by doing so, they shipped some gears all the way from Argentina to put in the transmission. It sounds like he went to the airport, left it in bag check, and then couldn't find bag check, almost lost the gears. Got lucky, found the gears from midnight, had some help from a good friend, Kevin. They put everything in the transmission the next morning, installed it. By 2 p.m., changed his own world record. Boom. That's how you do stuff. Just throwing it out there. David coming up, Brandon in the Camaro. Brandon in that Camaro right there. David following that beautiful blue Grand Sport Corvette. But that's just kind of racing, isn't it? Right? When you're that dedicated, and if you're going to break records or have that, have the ability to do so, there's the fastest GTR at the event, and the fastest car at the event, right there. The 243 and change. That's what you got to have, is the dedication. Put the time in. Comes Peter. Sounds like he got out of it there. Corbin Johnson, the GT500. Not sure how that went. Looking for it on my screen right there. The Indiana Corn Marketing Council. So Corbin definitely got out of it, from what I can tell. Peter went all the way through. GT500 against a nice looking, that's Briar Madden's Challenger. Been a best of 171. 1,000 horsepower in that car. The GT500 right there. 560, but looks like 1,000 horsepower Briar's Challenger is going to go bye-bye. Good run for them. Briar, good mile an hour. Let's take a look, see how that played out. 172.7, nicely done. Now I got Josh Kalis in the 69 Camaro, 1,600 horse, going up against David DeFord in a G35. So Kalis been a best this event of 800. I know he's been working on the setup, trying to get it kind of dialed in as they made some changes. Changes take time. I can tell you that for free. Josh Kalis, of course, one of, if not the best freestyle skaters in the world. Bet you didn't know that. Whoa, a little slideways in the Infinity. Still a little oh, he's off the track. What's he doing spinning around like that? He was definitely slideways. He's kept it down. And now he's spinning around. Kalis going through the traps. Apparently the Infinity wanted some corn. So that's, I guess, was what happened. I'm not sure. Hopefully everybody's okay. Yeah, he's just he's hanging out in the cornfield. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to recreate the Field of Dreams, but with cars. I'm not sure what's up. But I'm glad that he stayed on all four. Kalis with a big 186.34. I don't want to not announce that. So that Infinity was sideways for a bit. It was getting a little shaky from my vantage point, which is only the screen. And it looks like he's carrying he's stealing corn. We're gonna have to actually get him pulled over and take that back. You're not supposed to take the corn. But he's, the good news is he's still running, right? So basically, we're going to go right back to racing, which is good, and they'll, the car and driver live to see another day. Maybe a little pride notch taken away, but that's all right. He saved it. That's all that matters. So good job there. Maybe work on a little less power on the start. Don't know. Well, get this. That's a soybean field across the street. Who would have known that? That was big thanks to my good friends over at the Indiana Corn Marketing Council. If anybody would know, it would be the Indiana Corn Marketing Council. That's pretty fun. I appreciate that little tidbit. I'm just a guy with a microphone. What would I know? Look at that Viper. Woo! So Dustin Bossy in that Viper. Paul in the GT500, 760 horse in the GT500. Viper, not really sure, but lots of it. Let's go with that. Nice looking Lamborghini Huracan right there. That's Les Acree. Been a best of 156.6 already. Another Lambo next to it. That's probably, yep, Julian Bassler. He's only made 4,032 passes. He brought a host of cars out here. Every one of them stunning. Been a best of 155.7 with 640 horse on tap. You can see those flags, just all that wind. Tailwind, so that's good. So the question is, who's going to go faster than 243 miles an hour out here today? I think there's a car capable, maybe. I was loving all those shots we were getting from the pits. Great to see that. Les and Julian in the Lambos, 155 for Julian. Big burnout right there. Everybody loves a big burnout. That CTSV, that's Tony Williams. Brandon, GTR next to him, 600 horse, been the best of 155.7. Pretty close, side by side. CTSV, 1,000 horse, definitely showing up to the airstrip. Good run there, though. 164.6. Brandon in the GTR with a 155.55. Of course, the American Lung Association supports the use of high-octane, low-carbon biofuel as a clean air choice alternative to petroleum fuel because of biofuel's ability to lower tailpipe emissions. And it also combats climate change. The choice is easy. Choose biofuel. While we wait for them to get some of their timing stuff, I think the signal was lost. They're getting that sorted out. I'm going to go over a few things. See that beautiful Porsche there waiting. Of course, I got locally here, I got Casey's. They fill up with unleaded 88s at your local Casey's. Grab a delicious slice of pizza, maybe an ice cold beverage while you're there. They're a proud sponsor of all biofuels and glad to be the local convenience store for the Indy Airstrip Attack. Was there this morning, great place, love that store. Everybody's so friendly there. Dover Fueling Solution, That is a leading global provider of advanced customer-focused technologies, services, and solutions in the fuel and convenience retail industries. That's pretty cool. My liking of that is awesome. Indiana Corn Marketing Council, what can I say? First off, they're great at pointing out that we've got a sea and a field of something else across the street. That was good. They serve Indiana corn farmers that help create demand and broaden markets, including this one, the one I'm actually talking about right now, meaning Airstrip Attack. Opening opportunities down the road and across the globe for Indiana's corn farmers. That is really cool, because I know there's a lot of corn out here in Indiana, and so they're finding good placement for that with their clean-burning, high-octane, lower-cost fuel choices. You know, it's in virtually every vehicle on the road today, blended ethanol contents. I know in my area it's a 10% blended ethanol content. Wish I could get the cool stuff around here, or at my place from around here, but I don't have cool cornfields, and I don't have Indiana Corn Marketing Council selling and helping me, so there's that. Big shout out to a lot of our sponsors here. Of course, we got Ignite Racing Fuel, one of the best ethanol blends you can get. My good friend Jay Berry does just a fantastic job. Try some Ignite Red. You will not be disappointed. Of course, we got the City of Marion. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Really appreciate everything Layla and that entire crew does for us. I know she's on her way back home, but probably listening, so. Ignite Racing Fuel, I just went over that. First Farmers Bank and Trust. Of course, the Indiana Corn Marketing Council. CSF Radiators, Alpenstars, Fat House Performance, some real fast twin-turbo Mustangs. Many of those have ran this weekend. Vengeance Racing. We're going to go hot right now, which is good. Of course, I got Indy's Garage. Quick Rev Performance, great to see them out here. South Central Concrete. Roush Performance. Steel Inner Industries, and of course the Warrior Breed Motorcycle Club. They are doing such a great job. Appreciate all of them. Thank you, Warrior Breed. Looks like we got Eric coming up that 911 Patrick Johnson in that orange Tangerine Dream GT350. 526 horse. First time I've called that particular one. It's a Cheeto. Ferrari's, I won't repeat that, but you can read it at home. It's like an extra spicy Cheeto. Brian Priest coming up after this. Eric right now in the 911 though, 800 horse. What's it going to do mile an hour? It's been fast, 162 and change if I'm not mistaken. 161.99, so pretty close. What's the big spicy Cheeto? 122.9. All right, nicely done. Now I got Brian Priest Camaro, Tim Hopkins Huracan. Been a best of 194.3s, turning it up because 1,300 horse is getting it done for Tim. Brian's been 159.0. Looks like getting a few things sorted out. So we got Brian in the Camaro, Tim in the Lamborghini Huracan. Tim turned it up again, 194.3 last best, 1,300 horse in that beast. Beautiful car, look at that thing. Carbon fiber hood. For all I know, the whole car could be carbon fiber, but whatever it is beautiful. Hopefully you can hear me out there. Not sure what the delay is, if there even is one. It could just very well be trying to get something set up in the front, like a race kind of a deal. So everything looks good on my end. Hopefully you're enjoying the live feed at home and enjoying yourself here. Because honestly, I'm enjoying myself, so I know somebody's having a good time, and it's me. Here we go. Tim in the Lamborghini. Brian in the Camaro. Lamborghini with the big, long toe to the end. Mile an hour's coming up. 194.05 for Tim in the Lamborghini Huracan. Brian, the 156.0. Looks like we got Tim Garrett in the Z06, James in the S10. The S10's fast, 1,000 horse, been a best of 187.2. Tried to find him this morning in the pits, I couldn't. I wanted to get a backstory on this S10. Pretty cool rig. Like literally, when's the last time you saw 1,000 horsepower? Look at that. Is that an American flag I see on the like bed cover? He's going all the way around. All the way around. Like I said, that S10's no slouch. It's fast. 190.27. Look at that. He's going to be happy with that. That is a new best for him. 3 miles an hour faster than last. Tim with a 155.4. Of course, I got Igor. 1,100 horse, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. He's been a best of 197. Is it going to go 200 this time? Tony next to him in that GT350R. Been a best of 184, 1,300 horse. The big Brembos on the GT350. Arrgh. Lined up, here we go. All right, will Igor go 200? I know he's wanting to. It looked good and spicy. Both cars on good runs. Mile an hour coming up. There it is. Igor with a 200.89 and a 200 mile an hour t-shirt. Good job. 184.2 for the GT350R. Nicely done, Blake, in that 2020 Supra, 550 horse. Elena in the Golf, been a best of 130.8, 300 horse to 550. Here we go. Nice looking Supra. Go ahead online and attack me for calling it a Supra, but that's what it is. Looks good too. Now, up next, we got David Perlman, Dallas Performance, Lamborghini Gallardo, looking for that world record right now held by Giddy, the Giddy Monster, in UGR. So far, best 236. He's making the turn there to get onto the launch pad. Here we go. Fire and safety have been alerted. We got a little bit of a strange kind of a wind. Different than the last time they ran the 236.4. This car makes 2,000 horsepower. You see 1320 video right there. It looks like we got kind of a, I can't really tell, that looks like a tailwind. Here we go. Looks like he might have pulled out of that one, I can't tell. Yeah, yep. He's just gonna go through the drive-thru, get a soda, maybe rethink it. That launch looked like it wasn't the way you wanted it to go. Every time you make a world record attempt, obviously when you're trying to change the scope of the mile an hour, you really got to get it right. Look at all the cars out there for our fans in the stands here on site. Pretty cool. So David Perlman and that Dallas Performance Gallardo, they'll be back, no doubt. Second fastest car of the weekend, I believe. Julian Bassler in that 1,000 horse Supra. Al McClure, is that a Scion? That is a Scion. My eyes are not deceiving me. Might be the loudest car here, actually. I'm pretty sure. Oh, and he pulled the chute and everything long before the flags. Well, okay. Al's practicing. That's okay. 600 horse and a Saturn, I'd want to practice too. I mean, aren't those body panels made of like plastic? I don't know. Julian with a 162.3 definitely got that thing working well. 1,000 horse Supra. Robert Browning in the Challenger. Christopher Simon, the Corvette, coming up. Got Kyle Loftus, 1320. He's right behind there. Coming up next, behind these two, I believe. Great shot there in that C8. Good runs for there. Robert Browning, Christopher, 152 to a 144.6. Kyle coming up against, looks like, I can't tell. Dale Hart, 911 Turbo, 500 horse in that. 1,320 horse in the R8. Great build by Martin. AMS Alpha team. Car's been fast everywhere. You know, Martin and Kyle did the Rocky Mountain, I guess you could call that an endurance type deal, kind of like the Hot Rod Power Tour. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's right. Horse jump. We all saw it even push through the front tire. The front tires were locked. Kyle's just on a nice little Sunday drive, it looks like. Maybe he's got some ice cream. He's chilling. It's like, hey, it's Sunday. I can do what I want. Kind of cool to be on your own channel, watching your own race. Maybe he's doing that on his screen on his dash. It's hard to say. No, and Kyle could go. That could have happened. Dale with the jump and the 141.9. Mark Bales in the Hellcat. Tyler McGinnity in that unleaded blended ethanol fuel 88. Big tailwind. Both those ethanol blended 88 cars. You can find them. All right, Indy Garage with the big burnout. Oopsie. So what happens when you run that blended ethanol from unleaded 88? You can find them at unl88.com if you'd like to do burnouts at home. Still kind of dealing with this this crazy wind. Tailwind, thank goodness. Not a giant headwind. Got Josh. It's obviously fantastic for... It's not hurting, it's only helping mile an hour, right? So that's good. But it does make the car a little wanky, I would say, on the big end. Different than if there was no wind. Thank goodness it's a tailwind, though. Looks like I got Josh in a Camaro coming up. 500 horse, been a best of 143.8. You see an SRT there. That is Jason's Hellcat, Jason Burrow's Hellcat. Been a best of 146.6. So only 3 miles an hour separate these two. Could be a good race. Hard to say. Getting a lot of messages on my phone, a lot of call outs. Everybody's looking for the Gringo Tegra. Where are you at? So Josh there with a 145.3, Jason with a 148.3, Gustav and Ryan McConney. Gustav in that Challenger making some noise, but the Flying Banana's making all that noise you hear. Ryan McCauley in that Mustang. Been a best of 171,000 horsepower in that one. Not sure what they did mile an hour. I'll check that out here in a second. 157 for Gustav, 166.6 for Ryan. Corbin Johnson, GT500. Peter in that Mercedes. way early. Why would you hit the brakes that early? I don't know, but, you know, that happens occasionally. It's definitely going to affect the mile an hour. Just saying, 2020 GT 500, mile an hour 97.4. So let's show them where the gas pedal is. We'll get that done. 152 for Peter. Devin McWhorter in the 2020 Supra, been a best of 140. Nate and the Z06, 810 horse in that. Looking for a little better mile an hour than last, 129. Since I'm calling out the Gringo Tegra, that's Miles Kerr English Racing. Fair reminder, you can buy a Gringo Tegra, I can't even talk today, a Gringo Tegra t-shirt or sweatshirt over at the English Racing Semi. Look for them in the pits. Got to pay for those over 200 mile an hour passes somehow, right? Anyway, see a lot of those out there. If you want one, that's definitely a place to get it. Right now, I got Mark in the Indy Garage Viper, powered by that blended ethanol unleaded 88. Obviously, that blended ethanol unleaded 88, lower tailpipe emissions, is probably a big focus that should be discussed because, hey, we all want to be good for the environment, right? And go fast. All right, we got RJ Gottlieb in the big red Camaro. That is a film car that's next to them. That is why they must have taken that wing off. I don't believe he's going to go for a big, giant run here. I believe this is, yep, they got, you can see the camera right there in the back. They're doing some filming, as they do have a mini-series that's, see if I can find that info for you. That big camera mount, obviously. They're filming the red car. They have like a mini series that's currently out. Pretty cool deal. And so that's what you see going on here. They took the big wing off for this part of the deal. They're going to go down the half mile here at Indy, and that's what you see the camera mount. They're going to do some filming. So probably not the fastest RJ Gottlieb big red Camaro pass, but it probably won't be slow either. Listen to that car eat. Got all up on the power right past the camera car. That sounded cool to me. Can't wait to see that on film. Nicely done, RJ. Rob Gonzalez, another Camaro, early Camaro, 68. He's been trying for a bit. Got the advantage of the tailwind, whipping through there, a mile an hour for Rob Gonzalez, 68 Camaro, been at best of 177. What did he do that time? A 180.2, it's going faster, good for him. Now, we got right there at Dallas Performance, David Perlman in the Lamborghini Gallardo for a world record attempt. We have alerted fire and safety. World record owned by Giddy, the Giddy Monster, UGR at 244. This is an attempt on that record. This is a huge tailwind, a little advantage. Will they be able to make it work? Can they get all 2,000 horsepower to hook up? That's the question. We're going to get an answer real quick. He's on the line. World record attempt. Here we go. Good straight launch. Tailwind engaged. It looks fast. What's the mile an hour going to be? All the way through the flags. Mile an hour coming up. 237.47 miles an hour, sneaking up on it. David Perlman. Exactly 1 mile an hour faster than the last. That takes a lot just to get that done. So congrats to David Perlman. Even 1 mile an hour at that level is big. Nice looking car too. Great job. Les coming up in his Huracan, 610 horse. Brandon in the GTR next to him, 600 horse. 155.7 to 156.6. You guys like that run? Everybody at home? Yeah? Welcome everybody back viewing at home, maybe via Facebook, 1320video.com. Appreciate everybody being out here and watching. We got 1320 video chasing. Kyle's been out here doing all kinds of great stuff. So appreciate all you guys at home. That's you, and you. We're having a good time. Lots of over 200 mile an hour passes. Just watched an attempt on the world record. UGR and Giddy's world record in a Gallardo. I believe it's 244 is the record. We just did a 237. So we're getting closer, which is nice. Always fun to break a world record, because then guess what? That means Giddy have to come out and go faster than that, right? Love that. That's Les right there on your screen in the Huracan. GTR looks like he shut down a little early. Les with a 155.7. Gary Goatley coming up. Hellcat Red Eye, 157 best, 680 horse. James Walden in that 190 horse Factory 5 Cobra. Been a best at 118.3. Beautiful car. You see it right there. Those flags are still just bending over. It's crazy. Waiting for some cars to come out. I'm kind of doing some. I got my phone here. I'm doing some call outs to some of the teams and drivers that I know. Well, I'm trying to get them to come out here. Nice cars there. Willie, Garrett, the Charger, John, and the Turbo S. Shutting them down a little early, it looks as though. Not sure why. Could be traction related. 160 for Garrett. John with a 153.0. Now we got Willie in that GTR. Keeps going faster. 1,000 horse. Been a best of 185.3. Jessica James right there in that Hefner built Huracan. She's been a best of 198.4 today. Looking for that 200. That's out of the Jacob James camp. Father-daughter team. Good looking car. There it is, 193.3. Willie with a 188. Every time Willie's gone out this last 3 times, gotten faster. Jessica James right there with a 193.3. Great run. Fantastic. See a great shot right there. You see the shift sector booth, all the action going on out there. Here comes Mick Lay on the boil. All the horsepowers. Did he do 200's the question? 194.7. Car makes over 2,000. I'd like to give you kind of a rundown, or a breakdown, I should say, of the competition. waiting for some data so I can do that. And I'll kind of give you a rundown of how the competition kind of pairs out. I don't have all that data in front of me, but I'm going to get it soon, sounds like. And when I do, I'd like to go over it with you at home so you have an understanding. But there's actually a competition going on here at the event where there's basically a semifinal. Well, there's a qualify, then we take the top 4 out of that qualify, semifinals, and then finals between the last 2, obviously. So get that data coming up soon. We'll get that info. Kind of fun to watch at home. Finals are always, I'd say, over or past 3 o'clock or whatnot. Depends on how the day flows. Carolus in that RS7, 600 horse, just made a pretty good pass right there at 157.0, 146 for, look at that sublime green Mopar. That's pretty cool looking. It's John in the Hellcat. Ronald Wise, 178 best so far. Next to him in the Vengeance Racing camp. I think his goal is as fast as he can go, but 180, he'd probably be pretty happy with that. Car's making some good power, 840, 839 next to him in the Hellcat. So let's see what happens there. All that Vengeance Racing power harnessed. Ronald Wise in the driver's seat. 179.6, he's right there. 170 for John in the Hellcat. Great runs for both of them. Kevin Rudine in the 93 NSX. Made a pass yesterday, 142 right off the trailer. Nicely done. Caden Moen in the Camaro. Ranch built NSX. Nicely done. Take a look at it if you can. It's in the English Racing pits, kind of hanging out with the rest of the Rudine family cars. Kevin off to a good start. Don't see a lot of NSXs, not the early gen and certainly not modified, but he's on the boil there. Kevin with a good pass. 154.0, nicely done. 147 for Caden. He keeps going faster too. Oh, there's an airplane. Looks like we're getting ready to do some. It's getting ready to take off. So of course we're going to watch that take off, and then of course to get back to racing. Don't forget, this is an active live airstrip, and because of that, that's why we have the leader. I guess you call it the leader gator out there, making sure everything's clear for takeoff for the airplane. But a good reminder that this is an active airstrip, and that said, we shut down the airstrip, or the racing part of the airstrip, for a bit, so these planes can actually taxi, take off, and land. So it's a pretty cool deal to watch, to think that you're actually on an airstrip that isn't completely shut down or abandoned. This thing's real and live, and this is a prime example of that. All right, definitely going to give a big shout out to our 1320 viewers. We're going to give it a little break, I guess, online here, and then we'll be back for some more amazing racing out here at the 2021 Indy Airstrip Attack. Those that are following us elsewhere, you can still find us. But we are taking a small break on the live stream. Racing will resume, and it will be soon. So, come on back, 1320 video fans. Can't wait to see you. Tailwinds, pick it up. Welcome once again out here at the beautiful 2021 Indy Airstrip Attack. Appreciate everybody joining us at home. That's you and you. And I tell you what, it's crazy. The wind's really picking up tailwind. I think we're going to see some more world record attempts for sure. I've already had a couple. Like I said, things are blowing around. I got people picking things up. Appreciate that. And look at the beautiful scenery we got out there in the pits. All these fast cars. Just kind of excited to be out here announcing to you. Just had an airplane take off, taxi and take off, so we're back to racing. Wayne Cordell in the GT350, Ben in the BMW DCT 335 IS. That is a tongue twister. Wayne looked like he did a pretty good run there with a 142, and that's a new best. Ben with a 145.5. I got Kenton Tyser, the Camaro, 1,200 horse in this beast. Ryan Hopkins, 700 horse. Like I said, got a great tailwind here. You kind of see that on the shift sector flag right there. We've got it all sandbagged. I guess you can accuse us of sandbagging out here. Here comes the Synergy Green Camaro with all those horsepowers. See the flags just working to stay up. Kenton with a 175.0, Ryan with a 150.7, Stephen Ulrich ZL1, Michael Geiserman in his Corvette, and that's what you see coming up. Lots of power in the Corvette. 1,924 in the Camaro. It's a pretty big power game going on right here. Corvette might have got out of it a little early bird. Steven did not. So mile an hour, 130 for the Corvette, 152.9 right there. There's that Roush Mustang. I see the red one over there on the other side. And then I got Ben Stoner next to him in the GT350R. 1,200 horse in that beast. Right off the trailer, 189.1 mile an hour hit. There's that beautiful Roush red one right there. I have no idea why I don't have any information on it. But it's red. It looks fast. And it's pretty fast. Let's find out. All right. Looks like Ben pulled out of the big power. Heard some stuff kind of coming up. Behind that, though, I got Monica Rudin in the 2019 McLaren 720S. There's Monica right there. She got her first taste yesterday in her McLaren. Decided that she wanted to go faster, so she's going to borrow Kevin, that's her husband. Going to borrow that one. Looks like she shut it down a little early. She's definitely got the taste for horsepower, though, so it might have shut all the way down. No, it's still going. Okay. So she's just making a test pass. That's what it comes down to. It's Monica Rudin. Of course, her husband has the fastest mile an hour of the entire weekend so far at 243. That's what I said. 243 miles an hour. Just going to hold for a second while we get Monica off the airstrip. Something happened right just past the launch. I'm not sure what it was in that McLaren, so it's probably, my guess is it's probably still under warranty. I don't think that thing's been driven but about 18 miles. But the good news is Monica did reset the lowest mile an hour of the weekend so far at 37.39 miles an hour. So if they were handing out trophies for that, she just won it. I know we're talking to people out in Poland that are watching this. So there you go. Winning at some point, right? She'll be back. Maybe even in the in her McLaren. Now we got Patrick Parker in that S2000. Tom Kilhofer in the GTR. That's what you see on the launch pad. It's 800 horse in this S2000. Don't have a lot of info on either one of those, but that S2000 makes some juice. 160.7 to a 146.8. I got Mark Bayless in the Hellcat. Kyle, that's your world record 350Z in the half mile. Reset his own world record at 181.6. Car makes 950 horsepower. I was talking to him over in the pits. He was telling me he was going to turn it up, and he did because he went 4 miles an hour faster. Let's see what he does now. Like a good run. Let's see if he bettered his mile an hour on that one. Got a good tailwind. Of course, Mark Bayless in the blended ethanol and leaded 88 car. 144 for Mark, 178.4. Still a great pass for Kyle in that record-holding 350Z. Clean under the hood. Oh, what do we have here? We got Vengeance Racing back at it. Ned Dunphy in that beautiful orange Viper. I tell you what, Vengeance Racing making Vipers great again. Look at that thing, full beast mode. Ned's out here, he's looking for a 230 or, well, as fast as that thing will go. Believe you me, Ned has no problem holding his foot to the back of the headlight to make that thing go. Fire and safety has been alerted. Let's see what happens. Ned's on it. Mile an hour looks strong. What's it going to be? He pulled the chute. Cameras can barely keep up with all that Vengeance horsepower. 225.56. Great run for Ned. That is his second fastest run. Great job. Ned, Ned went on the track this morning before anybody got here and found every piece of his GoPro that blew off at 220 miles an hour. Who does that? It blows off at 220 miles an hour. He found every piece. I mean, they were like small pieces, and he put it all together, and he's still using it. Almost sounds like a GoPro plug. Paul Holman, Mustang, Nathan Ginter, 370Z Nismo. He is all over the place. Hopefully he doesn't dive off into the field like his brother in the Infinity. Car is slideways. Sure, almost looked like something might have fallen off that car. It was hopping up and down so much, I'm not sure. Hopefully not. Looked like a pretty exciting run, at least for him. He's probably going to need to check his shorts. 159.4 for Nathan in that 370Z. Paul with a 133.5 in that Mustang GT. Derek Downing, CTSV. Tony Williams in that CTSV next to him there. Vengeance Racing. All right. Derek Downing, CTSV. Tony Williams in the CTSV. 169 and 165 best thus far. I tell you, the craziest things happen over here. Now I got the corn dancer. I don't know if they're going to come live to me or not, but I got Jay Barry from Night Racing Fuel trying to knock down my spikes. Don't do that, Jay. No, don't do that. He's back here dancing around all goofy. We're just going to get the track looked at really quick. All right, we're just waiting for this track to get cleaned up, and while I do that, big shout out to City of Marion, obviously for all their support. First Farmers Bank and Trust. Of course, all my good friends at the Indiana Corn Marketing Council. Every time I come out, I seem to make a new friend from the Indiana Corn Marketing Council, and I can't thank them enough for all their hard work and dedication to, for one, the farmers out here in Indiana, and actually to this event, because they do a lot of work to make that happen. We're going to get back to racing right now. Just had it looked at just to make sure everything was, you ready for this? Kosher. A couple CTSVs been on the launch pad for a little bit while we got that checked out. Good looking CTSV right there on your screen. Looks like I might have a good Jay Barry interview coming up. Good CTSV race right there. Vengeance Racing throwing it down once again. Mile an hour coming up. Derek Downing with a 169.3, 166.0 for Tony in the CTSV. Michael Ambler in that Challenger. Mike Stats in the S4 Audi. Waiting for a good interview from my good friend Elena from Unleaded 88 and Indiana Corn Marketing Council. So we'll get to that here shortly. Meantime, got a race there, ready to go now. 151.9 to 140.7 right there in that Audi. David DeFord in that Infiniti G35. That's the one that went a little sideways, I believe. And of course, we got Mark in the Indy Garage Viper, powered up by ethanol blended unleaded 88s. You can find them at unl88.com. Infiniti's getting a little sideways again. Hopefully he's okay. Making the pass right there. There's a little smoke there at the end. I can't see it past my vantage point. Everything okay? Yeah, definitely some smoke. 180.5 for the Slideways Infiniti. Looks like the smoke stopped. He's still rolling, so that's good. Mark. 135.5. Clay Preston coming up in the Corvette. Mark, my spot here because David's coming back in his Corvette Grand Sport. We're just checking to make sure there isn't anything coming out of that Infiniti. Looks like I'm going to get to a good interview here. A good friend Ignite J. Berry coming up here pretty quick. He's always got some. Going to you there, Jay.
Hey everybody, we're here for day 2 at Shift Sector, and we're excited to have Lena back with us. Lena, tell us, how did yesterday go?
Yesterday was epic. I literally posted that on my Instagram at Indy Biofuels. Epic first day, fast cars. I think 234 miles per hour was the top speed, and I'm excited for day 2, and the weather could not be more gorgeous.
And there are some fast times coming about with some of these cars that are running ethanol out here, which is supplied by farmers here in Indiana growing corn and providing them with biofuels. And the great thing is you guys are out marketing the biofuels for us. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, so we bring so many different types of industries to this event. The foundation with agricultural and having, being one of the top 5 corn producing states in the country. What better place to be to showcase one of the byproducts, which is ethanol. Half of our corn crop goes to that product and helps power some of these high-octane exotic vehicles that we're seeing today.
So everybody out there, run ethanol, keep it silky like this, run the good stuff, and check them out. Back to our good buddy over here. Hit it, buddy.
Thanks, Jay. Great job. You definitely are too sexy for your husk, Jay. I would say that was almost corny, but a great interview nonetheless. And as always, great job to the Indiana Corn Marketing Council. Appreciate that. Julie Ambassador's Huracan and a Factory 5 GTM, I believe is what they call that. Beautiful rigs. Julian with a 154.00 in the Huracan, 144.6 in the Factory 5 replica. Tom Brett's coming up in the Mustang, Tony Reed Corvette, 850 to 680 horse right here. Beautiful Z06 C5. Tom and Tony out there, Mustang Corvette, a little classic race car action here out the 2021 Indy Airstrip Attack. It's still pretty windy, but it's a good tailwind, so that's pretty awesome. Josh Kalis coming up. Tony with an 163.8. Tom with 169.9. Josh Kalis coming up there. Last run, 1,600 horse, 186 was the top mile an hour. Looks like he got out of the power. Beautiful 16. That car is more of a show car than a race car if you've ever seen it. If you haven't seen it in person, well, you're just missing out. Got a couple more high horsepower cars coming up. Looks like we got Ryan McCauley in that Mustang, Daniel Bartram in the Huracan. The Flying Banana, been 1,000 horsepower, been a best of 171.8. Comes the Flying Banana. Ryan, been a best of 171. Will he get better this time around? Mile an hour, we're going to find out. 173.9, definitely went faster. 152 for Daniel. Caden Moen in that Camaro, been a best of 149.5. Keeps going faster and faster. 650 horse. Definitely making good use of all of them from what I can tell. Peter right there in the Mercedes, followed very closely by Caden in the Camaro. Nice runs there, 147.3, Caden. Went through the traps plenty fast at a 146. Gustav in the Challenger, Patrick Johnson in the spicy Cheeto GT350. 158, Gustav's best. 122.9 for Patrick's. Mile an hour there for both of them. If you're just joining us now, you're in for a good time. There's some fast stuff coming up. I can see it in the queue. So we got Buddy Schultz in his Camaro. He's been a best of 202.5, 2,000 horsepower in the Camaro there closest to us. Pro mod looking. That's Hannah Schultz. I'm assuming they are related. 650 horse. Been a best of 150.9. Wow, that looked fast. And I do believe Buddy is manually shifting that beast too. 197.5, great run, Buddy. 148.6 for Hannah. Next to him there, Chad Redder coming up with that GTO up against Nate in a Z06. 810 horsepower in the Z06. From what I can tell, it should be hitting faster probably. Surface of the airstrip, so pretty crazy. Might see some even faster stuff. Looks like the Corvette pulled out of it. GTO gonna make a sneaky pass right before the flags. all the fun today. We got Ignite's very own Stephen Barry out there in the R8. Raza in the blended ethanol 88 M5. Mile an hour, 167 for the blended ethanol unleaded 88. You can find that at unl88.com. 142 for Mr. Ignite Racing Fuel. Another great, possibly one of the best blended ethanol fuels you can get. Devin coming up in a Supra. Brock Biddle in the Camaro right there. Brock has been a best of 145, 140 for the Supra. Took a good run there for them. Kent Sackler coming up in that CBR 1000. Dennis Morgan in Z06. Devin in the Supra 137.99. Brock with a 142.4. It's right at that time where the fast stuff will start sneaking out here again. I haven't seen it showing up in my queue just yet, but I know it's there. With launch mode engaged. Looked like a really good clean run for him. Dennis. There comes the bike of Kent. Dog walked that bike good, 168.8. That is a new best for Kent. Elena in the Golf. Mason Chapman in another Golf, so we got a Golf off. Who's going to tee off first? Got the hood exit on one. Mason on the Boyle, making that hood exit scream. Elena's making up some time, though. Not quite sure what's up there. Elena with the big pass on the outside. 97 miles an hour for our one golfer. Elena with the big pass there at the end at a 127.01. Daniel Williams in that BMW 340i X all-wheel drive. Jason Burrow in the Hellcat, been a best of 146.6. Right now we got a Trackhawk. Always fun to watch these launch. Billy Barnes, 1,035 horse on the launch pad right now. Whoa! You see that thing launch? It put like 12. It put like 12 Jeep lengths. Whoa! What's that mile an hour going to look like? That was pretty strong. Billy Barnes with a 169.6 in the SUV. Eugene McAllister, 335i. Christopher Burgett in the Camaro. 800 horse in the 335i. 520 in the Camaro. What is that cornstalk doing back there? Caught him at the end. Looks like we got Monica Rudine coming back in that McLaren. My understanding, it was launched and maybe went into a safety. Let's see what Monica can do this time. Looks like she's definitely on the boil. Listen to that beast go. Oh, she's definitely going fast. Mile an hour. Coming up. 168.98. Go, Monica, go. That's pretty awesome. She hog-tied the husband for the faster McLaren. She's got the fever. The only thing that's going to cure it is speed. Fabian coming up in a Supra, 500 horse. John Moore in a Corvette Z06, 159.2. Best so far. Nice seeing another Supra out here. Sounds like the Supra shut her down a little early. Doing 2 JZ things.
Just follow me on this one. We'll be dancing and stuff.
120 for Fabian, 154. For John. Brandon Minnick, GTR, 600 horse. Slava in the blended ethanol unleaded 88 M6. Looks like they're gonna get some kind of arm drop by a corn. Boy, that almost blew his stock clean off. Of course, that's our good friend Jay Barry, Ignite Racing Fuel. He'll do anything for the Indiana Corn Marketing Council to show support. Appreciate that, Jay. 171 for Slava, 153.0 for Brandon. Seth Moore in his Camaro, Larry Mangus in his Corvette. It's a ZR1 right there. Great shots coming from the Revolution.com team. There's that Trackhawk that just launched. Put like 12 Trackhawk links between that and the other one. Camaro's catching up to the ZR1, or it was there for a second. Mile an hour, gonna be close. Got another fast Camaro coming up. 154.2 for Larry, 157 for Seth. Got Clark Rosenthal, 2,500 horsepower. First pass off the trailer, 200.98 miles an hour. You can see him right there on the right, far lane. Bryant, been a best of 159, 800 horse in his. So definitely a big horsepower difference between these two. That thing just looks the part, duct tape and all. He's going to do a John Force style burnout. Hopefully it doesn't get away from him. Let's see what happens. He definitely let off before the traps. That was an interesting run, 168 for Clark. Brian, well, he wanted to do a burnout. Well, he did. I'll give him that. Dale Sneed in a McLaren MP 412C, 600 horse in that one. Blake in the Supra, 550. Good looking car too, love that color red. Looks like we got some youngsters on the starting line. Always fun to see that. Good friends at First Farmers Bank and Trust. Always here to put on a good show. They inflated their giant piggy bank. It's over by me here. Let's see if I can get you a shot of that later. 133 for Blake. Dale with a 140.8. Ashley Carmody in the McLaren 720S. Been a best of 176.7. Andrew Challenger been a best of 153.8. Similar horsepower between these two. Only about 60 difference between the two. Pretty good run there. Ashley going after it. Let's see if we got faster than 176. There you go, 176.96, so that's good. Andrew with a 153.9. John Martin, Turbo S Porsche, bit of best of 155.4. Chris Borders, 99 Corvette, 148.9. Horsepower, 525 in that Corvette. .7 for John. Chris with a 149.7. Told you it was going to be close. Jeremy Howell, Mustang. Peter in the Benz. Wow, that Mustang's moving. That's really moving. 1,300 horsepower would definitely do that. Mile an hour coming up. Looked fast. 193.05 definitely was fast. Hey, I just want to give a shout out and welcome back all of our 1320 video fans. Thank you for rejoining us or joining us for the first time. However you found us, thank you for being here. Out here in the 2021 Airstrip Attack, of course, brought to you by the Indiana Corn Marketing Council, the City of Marion, First Farmers Bank and Trust. Joining us at a perfect time. We've got some fast stuff coming back up. Ford Shelby GT 500 up against a Camaro ZL1. Doesn't get any more classic than that. Mile an hour on this coming up. Unleaded 88 car coming up here. That's the blended fuel. That's the blended fuel unleaded 88 blended ethanol. They're our favorite sponsor of the event. Last run there in those. Look at that car go. 1,000 horsepower in the Dodge. Sounds like he might have had an issue. Not sure. But I can tell you all weekend long, the blended ethanol unleaded 88 GT500 has been wicked consistent. Hasn't made a pass under 150 in days. That one was 153.06. Perry Herring in a Z06. Michael Ambler in a Challenger coming up. Kent Seckler in the CBR. Julian Bassler in the Supra. Julian turned it up. 1,000 horse, 162 last run. In it to win it. 171.4, nicely done. 147.7 for Kent on the bike. Got the Z06, been going really fast. Bill Regal, 195.9. It keeps going faster, so he's looking for that 200 mile an hour. Looks like a good start. He let off way before the end, so the mile an hour will definitely be reflected there. But boy, it sounded good up to that point. 164.2. Not bad. Got, let's see what I got here next. I got Jessica James coming up right behind these two. Dylan Dorsey in our first Subaru of the weekend, 350 horse. Paul Holman in a Mustang GT 500, 760 horse. See the shift sector flags kind of bending over with that tailwind is crazy. Subaru with the hoppy skip, holding its own. Until now. GT 500 going around the outside, mile an hour. See the Indiana Corn Marketing Council flag just bending in the wind. 119 for Dylan, 138 for Paul. Now we got Jessica James in the father-daughter team. Hefner built Huracan on the other side, GTR, which keeps getting faster, by the way. Willie's GTR. But a best of 188.2. If I know Jessica, she's going to have no part of that. Launch mode engaged. She's been a best of 198. Let's see what she does this time around. Definitely some Hefner performance power in that bad boy. What's it do mile an hour that time? Wait till I get confirmation of that. Moving on to Brandon and Brian Dorsey. Camaro looks like it's going to be a Camaro on Camaro battle. Race off to a good start. $158.2 to a 152. Looks like we got Raza in the blended ethanol unleaded 88 M5. Brandon in the GTR. Raza, the 163, 156 for Brandon. That beautiful Factory 5 replica coming back. Barrett's in the Mazda Speed Cork Sport. Best of 158. Definitely let out. Barrett's got something going on. He's still moving under his own power, but might be coasting. Watch him go through there. All right. Hopefully he's good. Brian in the Camaro, Larry Conover in the C8 Corvette. That's what you have there next. You can see the First Farmer Bank and Trust flags just whipping in the wind. Waiting for these two to light off. Look at that shift sector flag. All buckled down with those sandbags, still bending over, almost touching the track.
No, I don't see any cars.
Looks like they resumed our race. That's good. We had to get the car off the track. Got that handled rather quickly, so that's good. We're back to racing. C8, Corvette, Camaro quickly catching up. Camaro's going to have a pretty good mile an hour on that one. Got some fast stuff coming up right behind this. So 154.8 for Brian, Larry in the C8. That's Michael Stout, Vengeance Racing. Last run, 2:18.4. That's your fastest C7 in the half mile and the quarter mile right here, Vengeance Racing. He's in it to win it. That looked pretty spicy. Mile an hour coming up. Looks like I see Kevin Rudine. Jimmy, the timing, 1 mile an hour and Mike Stout. .202 miles an hour for Mike. It's got confirmation, and right now I got your fastest mile an hour car of the weekend up to this point right there. It looks like Kevin Rudine piloting the English Racing built GTR. 243 miles an hour and change. You can see that at the bottom of the ticker tape there, 243.3. I know they were talking about changing a little bit of the launch sequence, maybe adding some more power, that real big T1 built beast of a motor. Again, this car was literally getting refreshed leading up to this event in the last 2 weeks. Can't say enough about Team English Racing. The car right now is set up, I want to say, right around 2,200 horsepower. Right around 2,200 horsepower is where that car is set up initially to come out here. It can make more. It depends on if the track will take it. I was told this morning they were going to. It has a T1 motor, which is a billet block ETS Pro turbo kit. You can kind of see the turbo entrances right there in the front. So get ready. We've alerted fire and safety. Sounds like he got out of the power. It was a good launch too. See any smoke, anything crazy, just he's off the track off the on the asphalt, so that's good. It's still running, so they'll get that sorted out. That's Brett Campbell in the Corvette. Nate in the Z06 right there. 810 horse in Nate's Z06. Mile an hour, 146.2 for Brett. Nate with a 123.32. Andrew in the Challenger Hellcat with a 153 best, 797 horse. Ashley right there coming back in that McLaren. Beautiful car. Lots of power, too. I want to say it was 850 horse. Already been a best of 176.96, so right there, just under the 180 mark. I sent off a message to the English Racing Crew, see if they're going to see if it's something simple. Get that figured out. As soon as I know something, I'll let you know. Good run for both of them. Andrew with a 153, 176.6 for Ashley. Coming up after that, Dusty Hall in the Camaro, 800 horse in that. Been a best of 161.2. Carolus in the RS7. Great. Watch this launch on these RS7s. It's just crazy. Good run for both of them. Mile an hour coming up. See that launch. It's like launch mode engaged. 153.8. Dusty with a 165.6. Tyler McGinnity in this M3 coming up. Probably one of my favorite wraps here. Tony Janko in the GT350R next to him. See the GT350 there. This is Tyler's other car. Probably still running that beautiful blended ethanol unleaded 88. You can find that at unl88.com. Good launch sequence there for Tony Janko in the GT350R. Solid there. Mile an hour coming up. See all the cars making their way up to the starting line there on your screen at home. Tyler in the other M3, 135.1. Tony with a 189.2, so he's moving out. Josh in the Camaro. Larry in the Corvette. Larry's been a best of 159.2. 143.8 for Josh. Nice looking ZR1 right there. Great vantage point. Josh and Larry through the traps. We got the blended ethanol and leaded 88 GT500 coming up next. The car has been crazy consistent with this fuel all weekend long. Josh with a 145.0. Larry, that last pass in the ZR1 with a 154.9. Glenn Griffiths in this GT500. Peter next to him in the Mercedes. So there you go. Once again, uber consistent with the right fuels. Glenn in the GT500, 154.2. Peter with a 147.7. Kent Seckler in that bike. Chad Smith in the ZX14, 180 horse, 189. Here we go. an hour for them. 165.9. Kent with 150.8. Got Dustin Bossy in that McLaren 720S. That Viper right next to him. Really cool car. I think it's Dale Sneed's, I believe. .53 there for Dale, 145.9 for Dustin. Got Mark Bayless and Indy Garage Hellcat, also fueled by ethanol blended unleaded 88. Stephen Ulrich, ZL1, he's been the best on 152. Couple more Julian Bassler's cars coming up. The GTR Nismo and, of course, the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. 155 for the Huracan, 152.9 best for the Nismo. Billy Barnes coming back in that 1,035 horsepower Trackhawk, 169 best so far. Daniel Bartram in the Huracan, 156. Might be a situation where this Trackhawk will actually out mile an hour the Huracan. Let's find out. See what happened here. It looked kind of interesting for sure. Daniel with a 155.6 Trackhawk. Billy with a 167.4. Gotta like that. Ashley coming back in that McLaren 720S. Andrew in the Challenger Hellcat. Here we go. Got the Factory 5 replica, John Moore. And what's behind that, do I see? Well, it ends up being your highest mile an hour car coming back for more. That's right. After these two, next up, another attempt at the fastest mile an hour of the weekend. Already the fastest mile an hour at 143 or 243.37 miles an hour. There it is. Kevin Rodin piloting the English Racing built GTR.
Sure.
ETS Pro Turbo Kit.
Jeff
See
wants to
the
up in the
entrances
air,
in the front there. T1 motor,
Nice
billet
throw.
block, Shepherd transmission, billet everything. Here we go. Fire and safety have been alerted. Let's see what she does. Let her eat, Kevin. He's definitely in all the power. Got that Lucas English spicy tune, mile an hour coming up. I'm still waiting for it too. Anybody have mile an hour? 242.84 miles an hour. That makes your second fastest mile an hour of the day. Great job, guys. Cork Sport coming back for some more. Good to see Barrett back out here as well. Seth Moore in the Camaro next to him. Barrett's been a best of 158.5. Seth with a 161. Everybody liked that last pass. 242 miles an hour gets it done. Back out of the power.
He's far back down there. He's like way in the back.
Gonna send it over to my good friend Jay Barry.
Hey everybody, I'm sitting here with Team Ignite, Team Soho Motorsports. Welcome to our Indy Airstrip attack. How did today go so far?
It's been excellent, Jay. Definitely broke the VHR record for Team Soho in my 370Z Spot 900 wheel.
Cool, so tell me about how's your day been so far?
Been pretty good. Beat the overall VQ record with a 2004 G35 on low boost at 800 horsepower. Turned it up a little bit, and we'll see what she'll do.
So what do you think? This is first time coming to our event here in Indiana. What do you think about it so far?
It's definitely fantastic. Well ran. Definitely been to TX2K before. I feel this is actually not the fast TX2K, but it's a much cleaner event overall.
So, hey guys, good luck. What are you gonna make some changes for the next pass?
We might, but we got a turbo seal going out, so we'll see.
Okay, all right, guys. Back to Jimmy. Thanks, guys.
Great job as always, Jay. Nice interview. There's your fastest mile an hour right there car coming down. Kevin Radine piloting that beast. Just ran a 242 and change. Been a best of 244 in Colorado. I heard a nice rumor. It sounds to me like the Gringo Tegra man himself, Miles Kerr, is suiting up for the Integra second run of the weekend. As he told me earlier, it's either going to go fast or it's going to break. You just never know. But at home you can see that amazing GTR built by English Racing, powered by T1 and an ETS Pro Turbo kit. All the horsepower is on that one. Hard to get them all hooked up though. Sounded like it was a bit of a traction thing. I know they're trying to better the overall mile an hour for that car, which is 244 in Colorado, and it was spinning all 4 tires when they looked at the data on that 244 mile an hour run. So certainly not a power thing. It's just getting it all to hook up on this airstrip, because every one of these is different. Every day's different. Every temperature's makes a difference. So looks like he's getting backed up there in the English Racing pits. Great view from our drone footage. We're only a minute or so away from getting back to racing. This is a great view here. That's a father-son team. Remy in the GTR right next to him. That's also obviously built by English Racing. But that one, he did 221, and he hasn't made another pass yet. I'm not sure what Remy's doing, other than probably having a pretty good time watching Dad. So pretty neat father-son team. There's a lot of that here at the Indy Airstrip Attack. You've got a father-daughter team, Jacob and Jessica James. I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. You get to see a little bit behind the scenes what's going on after a real big run, 242 miles an hour. Got that Lucas English spicy tune loaded up. I'm sure he'll pull some data, figure something out. I think I already see his computer in his hand, so we already know that's happening. It's one of our grid girls. Got everything lined up. We're getting ready to go green again out here. Hopefully you're having as much fun as I am. I heard there's a couple different things coming up, so you're not going to want to go anywhere, because we got Ringo Tegra coming up soon. I also heard Big Red's going to go up against Josh Kalis in the 69 Camaro runoff we've all wanted to see. Kind of excited about that. Right now, though, I got Tony Williams in a CTSV, Kent Seckler in that CBR 1000RR as we go back to racing. Good race there. And I think what we all want to talk about is what is up with this Saturn Ion with 600 horsepower? Like, really? I think that's what we all really want to talk about. So I got one coming up for you. You ever seen a 600 horsepower Saturn that still had a head gasket? Well, I haven't. I think it's pretty cool. That's what's coming up next. Tony ripping through there with a 165.0, Kent with a 148.6. I got Chad Redder in the GTO, the only GTO, the lone GTO out here, and most certainly the only Scion that I believe in all 7 or so of my years of calling half-mile events for Shift Sector and Airstrip Attacks. I'd have to say that is the only Scion. It has 600 horsepower. It's been a best at 116, and he shut it down real early last time. So it also happens to be probably one of the loudest cars here. Here we go. Saturn Ion. What's it gonna do? I love it. It's got a parachute too. Mile an hour. 159.8 for the Scion. I tell you, that's pretty awesome, not gonna lie. That's pretty awesome. Nicely done. Chad in the GTO 126.3. Peter's back in his AMG. That's about the 98th run he's made. Same thing for Indy Garage Mark in his Hellcat. 700 horse in the blended ethanol unleaded 88. You can find that right at unl88.com. Zach with a 144.6. Peter with a 151. There we got Christopher Ambersetti in the GT500, Ben in that 335 IS BMW DCT. Pretty good run there, 139.5, 144. Looks like I got Andrew and Ashley back in that McLaren. Great shot from our team at revolution.com up there on the starting line. Andrew making it look easy in that beautiful Hellcat. Here comes Ashley in the McLaren. Justin coming up in the GT350. Careless in that Audi RS7. Watch the launch on this one. Ay, it gets it going. That little S10 or another little S10. Brandon Myers coming up. Scott Miles, ZL1. This nice little S10. He's been fast, 350 horse, 122. That's fast to me. Scott Miles in the ZL1, 146.8. Like a good, fast, clean run for both of them. Hey, I just want to send it over to my good friend Jay Barry. Take it away, Jay.
Hey, I'm here with P&L Motorsports, first time coming out to our event. Tell us about the car that you brought out today, one of them.
My name's Paul from P&L Motorsports. We actually brought out 5 cars for our customer Julian Bassler that we're supporting here this weekend. We have a twin-turbo R8. We have a 96 Supra that makes a pretty good jam. We have a full bolt-on GTR, a factory 5 GTM kit car, and a so many cars I lost track.
So how's your weekend going so far? You guys having a lot of fun out here?
We're having a blast. This show sector event's awesome. Definitely exceeded my expectations. Just having a good time, good people. Just awesome event.
All right, back to you, Jimmy. Check these guys out. Thank you.
All right, great job as always, Jay Barry. Nicely done. Appreciate the interviews. It was Julian Bassler in the Supra, also his GTR Nismo. Right now, I got the ZR1, Larry Breyer Madden in the Challenger Hellcat. 1,000 horse in that thing, been a best of 172.7. time I come out here, I want to put a First Farmers Bank and Trust logo in the bottom of that ZR1 wing. Be kind of a cool thing. Briar Madden right out there. ZR1 next to him, Larry. The 155 for the ZR1. Briar with a 171. Paul now in the GT500. Dale Sneed in the McLaren. McLaren's been a best of 153. I swear those McLarens sound almost alien when they go down the track. It's kind of cool. Hopefully you can hear that at home with the great Revolution.com camera crew doing their job well. Let's see what we got. Just want to give another thank you and shout out to our syndication partners. Working with us all weekend's been awesome. 1320video.com. Of course, Global Time Attack. GTA. Couple nice looking Mopars going down the airstrip out here in Marion, Indiana. Got Andrew Bedell coming up. Challenger Benabesta 154.4. Look at all the fans in the stands out there having a good time on a beautiful day out here in Indiana. It's a great day to be at a party and a race breakout because that's what the atmosphere feels like here. That, a little breezy, but it's a tailwind, so how awesome is that? Fabian in a Supra, 500 horse, been a best of 120. Larry, Corvette, 143. Take that back, that's Andrew. They changed it up on me and I didn't look. My bad, but that's Andrew in the Challenger. Like I was saying, though, a lot of beautiful Dodge / Mopar product out here. Always is out in this location. Larry coming up in that Corvette. Tim Garrett now. Larry's 495 horse. Tim 650. C8 Corvette, Tim in the Z06 convertible. Tim with a 157.2, Larry, well, it's anybody's guess. But I bet you it was fast. Chris, Borders coming up. 99 Corvette, see him right there doing a little mini burnout. Peter coming up in that Mercedes. He's been a best of 153.2, 149.7 for Chris, best thus far. Looking for that mile an hour. All right, up next, it looks like I got, well, that's Monica in the McLaren next to her husband, Kevin Rudine. in the NSX. A little bit about that NSX. Remy Redine, his son, has a shop. It's called Ranch Built. They built that NSX. Pretty cool car, too. Monica, this is her first ever racing event. Been doing a great job. And as we all know, Kevin Redine has the fastest mile an hour of the event so far at 2:43 and change. It looks like Monica's going to take the win away from the husband. Definitely a higher mile an hour, no doubt of that. Monica with a 161.8. That is a new personal best. Here we go. The race everybody wanted to see. 269 Camaros, arguably the two coolest in the world. RJ Gottlieb, Josh Kalis. You want to see it? Here it is. Kalis with the nervous jump, and we all know why. Here comes Big Red. RJ with a big mile an hour pull right there, throwing the chute. Kalis right next to him. That was quite a show. Mile an hour. $192.06 for Josh. $213.87 for RJ and Big Red. What did you guys and gals think about that? That was fun. I've been wanting to see that race for many years. Got Mason Chapman in this Golf, Brock Biddle in a Camaro, and sounds like we're going to have a helicopter land out here momentarily. Those were two fast Camaros. Josh Kalis, of course, background pro freestyle skater. He has skated all over the world. Want to thank all of our online viewers for watching. Want you to come back here. You're not going to want to miss the finals. It's going to be pretty crazy today. Thanks to everybody at 1320 and obviously Global Time Attack. We will see you at the 2021 Airstrip Attack, Indy Airstrip Attack in about an hour when you rejoin us. Don't want to miss anything. Grab some snacks. Come on back. We'll see you soon. Obviously, we want to thank Indiana Corn Marketing Council, First Farmers Bank and Trust, and Unleaded 88. You can find Unleaded 88 at unl88.com. We'll see you soon.